There you go.
Boom, there we go. Man, yeah, man, it's gonna be both cars gonna be fire though, for real. Like,
Yeah.
Eminent's gonna be what it is. Like, that's
Yeah.
always gonna be that whole car. She, I don't even know what to say about Kills no more. The whole weekend be lit for real. I'm
Yeah.
really interested in the SBA card though. I love how y'all put that together for Hank though. Like, and every matchup is dope. It ain't no like just whatever on that shit. Like, I could tell like niggas really put they thought process into that. So
You know the wild part is that the original car was actually crazier. Like we had some other battles that was supposed to be on there that was like wow, that was like
like scheduling and shit kind of fucked it up.
let me just say like URL and some other leads kind of got in the way. But
I,
not blocking the battles, but just what I'm saying, scheduling, like you said, scheduling conflicts and
scheduling. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean
nah,
we're at this point we're used to that now. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
so, and I'm pretty sure y'all couldn't grab anybody that was probably gonna be on Eminence the weekend before if y'all were. So that makes sense. Hey guys, we just over here chopping it up, man. Local battle rap shit. So I hate when that shit happens. Um, so but how was your how was your weekend? How was your 4th of July? While we waiting on Breeze to fix that. First off, I'm dolo tonight. I do have my homeboy DC Breeze, Coach Breeze, with me tonight. Jermaine is in Houston, and as we all know, Houston is experiencing, a storm. They knocked a lot of their power out. Shout out to Jermaine and his family. Anybody else that's listening in Houston right now, if you are listening, I did touch bases with bro, and they got power back. So blessings to that. Luckily, nobody was hurt. Him and his family are great, so that's always a blessing. Um, yeah, man. So you got me tonight. You got keys. Like I said, Breeze will be back in a second. He's having some audio difficulty that we are working through right now. Um, Other than that, man, how's everybody been doing? If you're in the comments, let me know how your 4th of July was. Uh, how's everything going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good now?
Yeah, yeah, my bad. Somebody called and made my whole phone tweak out.
No, you good. What was I asking you? Oh, so how was your 4th of July and your weekend?
Me, man, I ain't do a damn thing, man. I was in the house. They was blowing stuff up all weekend. They still outside blowing stuff up. So, I was in the house trying to
It's
find something
pretty.
to do, but you know,
That's also pretty normal in DC for y'all that niggas be blowing shit up, and it
man,
sound like one thing when it's another thing. So that's kind of
oh no, no, I could definitely tell the difference. I could tell the difference. Initially, it was fireworks. About 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it started transitioning to something else.
yeah. Niggas started. It was the same thing around here. Like Richmond ain't no different. Like niggas was definitely letting it off. So
Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to that, but I had my kids over here, so of course, you know,
okay, okay. Yeah, same though. We had a cookout at the crib. Way too many people were in my damn house. The usual. So, but no, it was good, man. The kids had fun. Food was good. Family, So it's always good when everybody can come together and laugh and like get their ass kicked on the spades table. I ran that bitch. I said that last week too. I was like, I'm running the spades table, and I meant that.
yeah, I might get my black card revoked for this. I'm not a spades player.
Wow.
Not a space player. Now listen, I was part of that last generation of kids that was outside playing. So when I was at the cookout, I'm trying to play football and basketball while they playing spades and poker and blackjack and all that shit. So I never actually learned really
I
learned.
didn't. I'm gonna
I had
be.
somebody try to teach me one time and
I ain't
he
learned till
actually learned
college,
because
bro.
of her. But
I ain't learned till college. I ain't even gonna hold you. I can play Uno. I can do all the other stuff. I didn't learn spades till I was in college in Georgia. So
man, I get guilty. I got guilted in a room full of black people. And you can't play. Oh no, you go and play spades. And then I got bullied into getting on the table, but we made it work. Like I said, we lost because of my partner because she underestimated my ability to play. that night. I done forgot how to play since then. So you know what I mean.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that, huh? Ooh, see, I'm starting to like this. Why this is never why I'm never in the first spot because I be doing shit. Um, but yeah, like I said, man, we got Breeze with us tonight. We got some great topics we're gonna talk about. Again, shout out to Jermaine and his family in Houston and everybody else in Houston. Prayers are with y'all. Hope everybody is safe. Like I said, I heard you. Everybody's getting their power back slowly, so that's definitely a blessing. Let me see where I want to start this week, man. I know what the hot topic is, and I don't know if I want to jump right into that and then in with the yeah. I
I
think I
mean,
do, man.
let's do it. However you want to run it down, let's do it.
Hmm.
Hey,
Shakur Stevenson.
if my audio start tweaking out at all, let me know so I can adjust it.
I got you. Uh Shakur Stevenson. My
We gonna jump
man.
right into it.
Yeah, because I'm the crazy. So I tweeted a little, but I ain't said too much because I was saving it for this week.
Mm-hmm.
So have you watched the interview that he did?
Which one?
The one that just dropped yesterday. With I
Mm.
forgot bro name. Hold on. I
This was in the ring, or this was.
This is I ain't even gonna say a pod. I guess you could say it's a podcast. Dude covers like excuse me, like all the boxing. Um
Nah, I don't think I've seen that one yet.
let me see. I know I ain't watched that much shit, so it should be in my history still. Might not be. Um as I'm scrolling to find it. But yeah, so I'm indifferent when it comes to this core thing, man. Cigar talk, that's what it is.
Cigar talk. I have not seen that.
All right, I'm about to send it to you right now. You know, peep it when you get a chance. But it was a good interview. First interview that he did post fight outside of going Twitter crazy, responding to
Mhm.
everybody like the dumbass he should be. Like that's the one thing you don't do. I get it, but you you kind of let them niggas talk, man. Let everybody get there
Yeah,
because they gonna get their shit off no matter what. Like, I
yeah,
mean, the fight was, and they weren't wrong. The fight was boring, but
yeah. But
it
boxing is one of them sports because of how niche it is. Kind of, it's like nobody talks about boxing when nobody's fighting, and all of a sudden on fight night, everybody's a boxing fan and everybody knows everything. And you can't tell who's who when you get on social media. So if you Shakur Stevenson, you just gotta take your W and just I won. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly like that was how you literally had to respond. Everybody was just like, "Nigga, I won." Like that's all you had to say. You won. It don't matter how you win. The goal is to win. It don't gotta be.
okay,
It's not UFC ain't always exciting.
yeah.
And that's UFC. Like that shit ain't always, what it's supposed to be. So it's like sometimes you're gonna get them fights where it's really defensive on both sides. This
So
one
so
won't
here's the
defensive on both sides, but
nah. But see, this is the thing with Shakur. Shakur, I feel like is that kind of like a crossroads in his career. Essentially, that may be putting a little too much on it, but just go with me for a second. So he has to figure out who and what he wants to be as a boxer, right? Do you
mm-hmm,
want to be good skill set wise? Shakur Stevenson is probably a top three, top five boxer right now. Just pure, just skill set, skill
mm-hmm,
set of being a boxer. He has to figure out and decide for himself: do I want to be a great boxer, win fights, win belts, so forth and so on, or do I want to be a pay-per-view fighter? Do I want to sit? Do I want to focus on selling tickets, selling pay-per-views, getting gate money?
mm-hmm.
Because he turned down an offer. I want to say from Eddie Hearn. I want to say from Eddie Hearn. I might be wrong about that, but he turned down like a $15 million 5-fight offer
Yeah.
to remain a free agent. And the problem with
He bet
Shakur
on himself.
Stevenson, yeah, which is fine. That's fine. But the problem with Shakur Stevenson is that because of the way he fights, it is very boring to even boxing fans. Casual boxing fans definitely don't want to see that shit. So it's like you are great at what you do, and if you change what you do, you may not be the same fighter. You're putting yourself at risk at that point. But career was best. What is going to be best for your career? Do you want to sell tickets and do you want to sell pay-per-views and try to get your money that way, or do you want to be an undefeated fighter, a belt holder, and make your money that way? Because Shakur Stevenson, with the way his skill set is, he can't do both. He
Mm-mm.
can't be a Gervonta Davis. He can't be a Floyd. You know, Floyd. A lot of people said Floyd's fights were boring, but by the time it got to that point, Floyd was Floyd. You know what I mean? But he can't. He's not that one punch knockout guy, and that's fine. But the way he fights doesn't sell tickets. It's for damn sure don't sell pay per views. So he just has to figure out who and what he wants to be as a fighter. And I think he's kind of at a crossroads. And we saw that with Devin Haney a lot. We still see it where Devin Haney gets caught up trying to prove that, oh, I can knock people out and I can do this, that, and the third. Where it's like you really can't though, bro.
Mm-mm.
And he resorts to other things like trying to be flashy when he's not, trying to talk a lot of trash when it comes off as awkward and like when Devin Haney talks trash, is like okay, that's cute. Like it doesn't put no fear. You know what
Cause he
I'm saying?
sound I don't know if it's the speech impediment
It
or
sounds
just how that
forced.
nigga look. It do like
It sounds forced.
just like when Tank was talking to Frank the whole like going into the fight,
Hmm.
and Tank was like, Frank, why you talking like that? You're not even from that. Like you from the
Right.
suburbs, bro. Like
Right.
I get that from Devin too. Like I'm sitting there like, bro, this ain't you, dog. Just let me
But
talk and you just sit there. I get you want to try to,
to that point though, to that point, and Ron Garcia's the same way. But to that point, when Tank say I'm gonna knock your ass out,
he mean it.
you like, oh,
He mean it.
Tank, yeah, right. It comes
He
off
mean it.
differently, right? So like it's natural for Tank. I don't think it's natural for Shakur and Devin Haney and those guys. They're great boxers and that's fine. They
Yeah,
just
like Core is
get
gonna
to a point.
touch you. He's gonna
Yeah,
hit you, but he's not gonna knock you out. Like he's
he's
not gonna
not going.
put you on the ground.
If Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney hurt you, not granted, any professional boxer is capable of hurting somebody.
Exactly.
But everybody has a puncher's chance. But if they hurt you, 9 times out of 10, it is the result of accumulation. I mean, they've been whooping your ass all night, or they're just accurate and they just caught you on the button. But it's not from power.
Nah,
They didn't hit
nah.
you with something that was so hard. Pause. They didn't hit you with a hard enough punch that the damage from that one punch dropped you.
Exactly. So and that's like when everybody was comparing when Frank fought Artem compared to when Shakur fought Artem, and they're like at the end of the fight, Artem's smiling. He's like, he looks good compared to when he fought Frank. He ain't look like that. Frank didn't either. But it's a difference of fighters. Frank is not one of Frank and Core are different types of fighters. Frank's gonna touch you, and when you gonna know that he put his hands on you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Core isn't. I watched that fight back twice and slowed down certain parts of it, and I'm watching the way Core is like ducking punches, moving. That's not boring to me. That's just a man who has good ass fucking defense. Like that's how
Right.
I saw it. I
Yeah.
get it from the exciting standpoint that they want to see. I mean, when you watch boxing, when you watch UFC, MMA, like Bellator, all of that, you want to see a guy stand in the middle of the ring and let his hands fly, which is a
Right.
great. I love that too. I like when they do that. But at the
Mhm.
same time, you got to think of the longevity of a fighter. Like, do you want them to fight for 2 or 3 years or five, or do you want to see them fight 10 plus? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
And
that
and
that standing there just getting punched in the head, it has long-term effects. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Not just
I mean, for somebody like me, like I said, it's been a minute, but I used to box. I'm a boxing fan. Like, I appreciate the skill and the art of boxing. So
same.
watching a Floyd Mayweather, watching a Shakur Stevenson, watching I can whoever pick a guy that's a good boxer, right?
Hmm.
He's not. His job is not to knock you out. The art of boxing is to get hit is to land punches and not get hit.
Yep.
That's the art of boxing. I'm gonna beat essentially is to beat people up, but not knock people out. That's now again
Now,
as
if you can
time
knock niggas
changes,
out,
if you can do it, you can do it. But the art of boxing, what they call the sweet science, is not I'm gonna stand here and knock your head off.
hmm
But people, especially American, that's just what it is. We have a fascination with destruction, right? Like, so we want to see you stand there toe to toe and beat each other's faces in. I want to see somebody cut, bleeding, swole up, knocked out. I want to see destruction. I want to see damage. I don't want to see you sit there and do this all night and That's running to me your casual boxing fan. I don't want to see that.
Hmm.
I want to see you sit here face to face, and as long as you possibly can, just throw punches till one of y'all fall down. Which is why I feel like MMA recently has kind of overstepped boxing in a lot of ways, is because naturally with you kicking, kneeing, elbow with MMA, you have more damage inflicted.
Yeah.
So to your casual fan, it's more exciting, which is fine. But if you're a boxing fan, you got to understand what boxing is. It's not a street fight. You can go on the corner and see a street fight all day long.
And I think that's why the heavyweight division is starting to come back a little bit because now you're getting that. Like with
Right.
the heavyweights that are at the top now, you're getting guys that are throwing them. Like
Yeah.
they knocking guys down out. Like you ain't seeing like the sweet science with the
No.
heavyweights. You're still getting it with the smaller guys, which is great.
Yeah.
Um, and even some of the smaller guys. Like I think now is the time we're gonna start seeing, especially with Core leaving top rank, we're definitely
Mhm.
gonna see the fights that should happen now. And I love that because niggas ain't running. Devin's still running from everybody, but that's what that's a different
Well,
story.
after Devin's last fight, he need to run for a little bit because
He yeah.
Ryan, say what you want to say about the PEDs and all that kind of stuff, but the fact of the matter, regardless of
Let me
what
send this to
Ryan
Kenny
took,
because me and Kenny gonna talk. I should have told Kenny come on tonight because I knew we were talking boxing. And that subject right there, me and my homeboy can go back and forth, right? So
man,
like
listen,
it's tough because his reasoning, he don't care about none of that shit. He like, look, the nigga took a PED, that's just
yes,
what it is.
yes,
Cool. I get that. PED or not, Devin was getting his ass whipped the whole fight.
right
Like PED or not. Like the
now,
PED ain't tell him don't duck or get or you know what I mean? Like
and
that PED didn't
that
affect it to the point. I still don't think it affected it to the point that it made Ryan like a super fucking fighter, in my opinion.
and that's the argument that I've been having in my boxing group chats, is that yes, Ryan Garcia tested positive. He tested positive 3 different times. Clearly, he had something in his system, whether it was a lot or a little. It was enough in his system that he tested positive 3 different times. There was something there, right? Cool, got it. You want to say he's dirty? Cool. I feel like I was saying in the whole buildup there's something wrong with it. Like he
It
tripping.
really
I
is. It
said it.
like I've been
You
saying before that fight, and when
yeah
he took the Devin fight, I was like, nah, I don't think he should take it. Like, bro, got too much going on, and this
yeah.
is before everything else came out. Like
Mm-hmm.
the stuff with his mom, his wife or ex-wife, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
like everything that's going on. Like,
And
bro,
this is
got
this is outside
too
of boxing. This is outside
yeah,
of the
and this
ring.
is
Yeah.
before the fight, and then the fight happens. We're all excited. Oh, I don't know about everybody. I was.
I was
Devin
excited.
got his ass whooped. I don't like Devin. I've been very voiceless. I can't even tell you why for real. I just don't.
I
But
I appreciate Devin the boxer. I don't like in the ring. I don't like the person. I don't like who Devin Haney the person is trying to be. He's
mm.
trying to emulate Floyd Mayweather, and that's not who he is as a person.
And he a young nigga trying to be flat. I get it.
Yeah,
Everybody
and
does that. You
he
get a
came
little
up under
bread.
Floyd too, so that's part of it. Like a lot of this younger
Yeah.
generation, they saw like Floyd was their goat. That's who they looked
Kobe.
to, so they
That's their
wanted. Yeah,
Kobe, their
right,
MJ, their LeBron.
right.
Yeah, for them. So it's like, of course, that's who you want to be like, man.
Mhm.
Floyd, he had the women, he had the cars, the money, the clothes. He was
All of
flashy. He
it. Mhm.
talked it. He walked it when he got in the ring. I get it. I would, you know what I mean? I would be the same exact way. Um,
But Floyd
I
wasn't
just
like that at 21, 22 years old.
nah. It took him a minute to get but you got to remember the younger generation is different, bro. Like we see it all the time in football. Like they come into the league draft night. These little niggas is swaggy. We just seen it with the
Draft
NBA
night.
draft.
You should see some of my
Like
players that on prom night
I'm about
in
to say high
high school.
school, to be honest with
Like, you
you,
know what I'm saying?
depending
Like
on, and it ain't even, you ain't got to go to a prep school no more. It's like high school in general.
I coach public school football, bro.
Like these little
I
niggas
have a
is
player with an NIL deal with the NIL.
in high school.
Yes,
That's fire.
like
Well,
you
I
know
mean,
what
I ain't
I'm
gonna
saying.
say that
Like
because Mikey Williams had his when he was in high school. A couple other
basketball's a little different though.
basketball players, but
Basketball's a little bit different though.
basketball be easier because there's no helmet, so we can, you know,
Yeah,
what I mean, it's that whole you
basketball
can
players are
see the
more
face
marketable.
and
You can recognize the face, and you like as far as like selling apparel, they have to wear sneakers and all that. Like basketball players, I feel like are easier to they're way more marketable than football players. Like you might see like two or three like legit marketable football players a year that aren't quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Like
and most of them are. I mean, wide as we know, wide
most
receivers are
most of the
like
receivers, yeah.
wide receivers are like the easiest people to market, of
Yeah.
course.
Like right now, it's like even to this day, it's like Travis Kelsey, Odell Beckham, who's still one of the more marketable players in the league, despite not
Jettas
doing nothing.
now,
Justin
Devontae
Jefferson,
Adams.
I don't know
Uh,
if Devontae is marketable. He's good.
I think so, only because like I'm watching the receivers joint on Netflix right now,
Mhm.
and like the stuff that they highlighting, I'm like, yeah, like it's a reason. It's not just the on field stuff is why he get the money. Like I think he is. Kittles is definitely. I
George
say
Kittle,
Kittles and Kelsey
yeah.
as far just because like they're tight ends, but like since Gronk, they're like the most marketable players in the league right now. Like
I mean,
two
business is
of
booming for tight ends right now, man.
yeah, tight that tight. I love the way I love that how they started that tight end university that they do
Yeah,
every
yeah.
preseason. Like
Mhm.
that's amazing because it's giving back. It's not being selfish. It's like, nah,
Yeah,
bro, I want everybody to eat. I want every
yeah.
tight end to be great like us.
I
Like,
think tight end, yeah, but I think tight end was a position that was so underappreciated and undervalued for so
yes, for
long
years.
that once
For
you got
years.
people like the first guys like Tony Gonzalez and Antonio Gates were like way ahead of their time.
Yep.
But when you got to the like Antonio Gates was kind of like the first of like the new era essentially.
Yeah.
And you got to a point like now you have Kelsey and Kittles and every almost every team has is looking for a tight end that fits that mold. And I think tight ends kind of band together. Like, yo, we gonna do this together. Like we don't have
But
to
for the
be
most
against each
part,
other.
they are though, because like they're damn near like another receiver in a sense. Like
Yeah,
you can, especially if you got one that you can line up and put out. Like looking at my team, like Dallas Goddard is that. Like he's not just a big ass tight end for the blocking and on the inside. You can line him up on at the slot. You can even flank him out sometimes on the outside and let him work. So I think that's the beauty of like when you got one of those wide receivers that has speed, power, and hands, like
yeah.
you
I
can kind
think
of put them anywhere a little
I
bit.
think that's what did it is when football started transitioning to more of a spread offense and tight ends
Hmm.
weren't just extra linemen.
Yep.
They started running routes, catching passes, scoring touchdowns. Like,
And
oh,
they're
wait a minute.
slimming. They're not as big as they used
Yeah,
to
like
just
tight
be.
ends. Most tight ends now are big receivers. Most tight
Yeah.
ends played receiver at some point. They just got too
I was
big
just
to
talking
be
to
X or
I was
Z.
talking to my homegirl about this because her son's playing football, and I'm like, he don't want to play on the line, but I'm like, yo, you're the biggest. You're bigger than like all the kids. Like you're 9 years old. You're bigger than all these little kids. You should be a DN. Like that's a sack every game because once you figure out your speed, your power, and how to
Mhm.
get off the line right, even at 9. I'm like, bro, that's a sack every time. Like you definitely gonna take the quarterback down. Kenny, I'm gonna get to that comment too because I like that.
Yeah.
So
If I had the frame to be a tight end, bro, I'd have been unstoppable.
I would have loved him in the tight end. I was more Randy Moss, and I was
If
okay
I
with
could,
that.
yeah. But I
I
mean,
was
I
definitely okay with that.
I peaked at like 212. Like that was my highest weight. My highest playing weight was 212. Like if I
I didn't
had
get
the
to let me tell you
frame to
something.
be
I didn't get to
six
two
three,
something
two
till now.
thirty, yeah.
I'm two something now and still don't look like I am.
Man, listen, if I could have got to like 230, 235,
Man,
and been 2, 3 inches taller, boy, they'd have been in
if
trouble.
with the speed I had at my height, if I could have gained more weight when I was about junior, senior, yeah. Like, yeah, yeah. I like being Randy though. I like being the skinny, tall dude that just
Oh
beat a
man, I
nigga
don't.
off the line.
My thing was like I don't drop nothing. So that was my thing. If you put it near me, that's me. That's mine. Like you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying. So
beating a nigga off the line was beautiful for me, dog. And that's why I love Ocho Cinco so much. It's
oh
the
yeah.
sweet science of the footwork and the just once you and then you up that, yeah, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. All right, so what did Kenny say? Yes, he was. Pretty Boy Floyd was hated by the media and flashy as fuck.
He said he was most hated. I don't recall Pretty Boy Floyd being most. I
Most
I don't
hated.
think I don't recall and pardon me, my memory is not the best. I've had a few concussions along my way, but the first time I really remember Pretty Boy Floyd like really being disliked is like when he fought Oscar. I don't remember Floyd being
Mm,
hated like very long before that. I may be wrong. I may be
I'm
wrong.
trying
Like I
to
said,
think. I definitely I remember going into the Oscar fight And then from that point on, it really was like niggas was watching for him to lose after
Yeah,
that.
'cause Oscar was the last time he was the beast out in a fight. And I remember he came to the ring. He had the sombrero and he had the
Yep.
Mexican color shoes and everything. And like I remember people, for obvious reasons, didn't like that.
Yeah.
But I don't recall. Now I'm not saying he was loved by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't remember. I don't recall Pretty Boy Floyd being the most hated. I don't. That's just my half recollection from 20 years ago.
Nah, I
Shit,
feel
Floyd's
you.
50 now. That was damn near 30 years.
Yeah. All right, hold on. I be trying to be quicker than Jermaine will be with these comments. I be like, pew, pew.
I mean, I
But
got it up.
yeah,
I can see him before you pull him up. The way
he
I
was
got my
always
thing set up.
criticized for who he hung with being in the clubs and strip clubs all the time. Like his okay, yeah,
I mean, I
yeah,
can see that. I
I
can
can
see
see that.
what's up, Jermaine. I can see that
What
as
up,
far
man?
as like, again the pretty boy thing. I can see that.
Nah, I can too. I mean, all it to be real, a lot of these little niggas is hated in different ways. Like niggas don't like Tank because they feel like Tank talk too much, but I'm like Tank backs it up,
Heck,
or they
right.
don't like Tank because of his outside the ring antics or drama that goes on. But I'm like, there is no boxer that hasn't had. I ain't gonna say no boxer, but a lot of boxers have issues outside the ring. I ain't gonna highlight and say what, but like all of them have like some type of
Most
issues
most of them, yeah.
because you got to remember, like these are still men that are testosterone going crazy. They're getting punched in the head.
Their job
Like,
is to beat people up. These are
yeah,
not
and
normal.
then
These are
I
not
mean,
normal men. Like
think about us as normal men, and ladies, if you're listening, bear with us for a moment. I mean, we're normal niggas and we come home and get nagged by our lady. Think about these niggas coming home getting nagged by their lady. It's like I ain't condoning it by far. Please don't.
mm-mm.
Like I don't. I definitely don't. But
So
it's crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I think a lot of these little niggas now, because we're not seeing the fights, I think that's where it comes down to for real. Like the fights, and I don't know if it's, I mean, I ain't gonna say I know what it is. It's the promoters. It's always been the promoters. That's why somebody like Floyd, now Javante, and a few others, they've taken that out of the um the promoters' hands and putting it in theirs to make sure that one, the money is right, the money is being made, and the fights are being made that should be made.
mm,
I think also, and we've said this, me and Jermaine talk about this on the pod all the time, and I think we did when you were on here last time. It's the Floyd and Kenny, if you still listening, I definitely want to hear your opinion on this. It's the Floyd Mayweather effect. Like nobody
absolutely.
wants to lose, everybody wants to be the greatest. So they are
That's
ducking certain fights because they
that's
don't want to take
yes.
certain wreck.
Yes, we did talk about that last time. So
It's the possibility that, man, this nigga really, I know I'm like that. That nigga
yeah.
like that too, and that nigga might actually whoop my ass. If I
But
take a L, this is gonna fuck up my
but see,
legacy.
this
Might
is
fuck
this
my
is
money
me.
up.
This is me with the way that my brain is wired. Is that if me and you got an issue, I'm the champion. I'm the champion. You the number one contender, right? I have every right, if I feel like it, to bypass fighting you, regardless of how I have to do, whether it's just ducking you, paying you, whatever. I don't have to fight you, right?
No, I can fight number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Right.
8. I can fight everybody but you.
But the way my brain is wired, it's like, okay, I'm gonna show you why I'm the champion. I'm gonna show you why I'm the. You think you could beat me? Bet, line it up. And when I put you on your ass, go to the back of the line. But like that's the way. Now you might knock me out, but like the way I'm wired pre-fight, you gonna have to show me. All that
And that's
talking I
how I
want to
am.
hear. But to that point, guys, that's why
Hmm. Okay.
there's plenty of money to be made in boxing.
Hella
There's pl-
money.
there's plenty of money to be made, but guys are more so worried about trying to chase a perfect record
Mm-hmm.
like Floyd than to make bigger fights. Like Devin Haney fighting Javante Davis is immediately
Big
the
money.
biggest payday of Devin Haney's career.
Core fighting Tank. Big money.
Biggest fight
Even
by
for Frank just
far.
now, that was Frank's biggest fight. I'm
Yeah,
not saying Frank ain't gonna get a bigger fight or make bigger money, but now he is because even regardless of the outcome, he got in the ring with him. Now the trajectory for him after this is, what are you doing next? I need to see
right,
your next 3. I ain't gonna say
right.
5 and then like that. Your next 3 fights matter now. Now you
Yeah,
gotta like Boots. Boots fighting this weekend. Boots is the same thing. Boots
Mhm.
is in a beautiful position right now. Um, can't wait to watch his fight. I was just looking at that Terrence Crawford card for August 3rd. That's that the 31st is when I want to get you and Kenny on here for that card, so we all can talk. All four of us. That card is gonna be. I like that
But
card
see,
from top to bottom. To be
this
honest, heavy.
this
They
is the
got a
thing.
nice mix of weight classes on that one.
This is the thing, though. Boots should be in an amazing position, right? He is one of, if not the hottest name in boxing right now, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that the person sitting at the top of that division is Terrence Crawford. And Terrence
Mm-hmm.
Crawford has already said, I don't have to fight Jerron Ennis. If I don't want to, I don't have to. Because me fighting Jerron Ennis does nothing for. If I fight Boots and I win, I'm Terrence Crawford. I was supposed to win. If
But
I
I
fight
think,
Boots and I lose everything, belts included.
yep.
So you know what I mean? These
I
are
think
Terrence
it's
Crawford's
gonna
words, not
happen.
mine.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Boost is gonna force it. His show, it depends on how his showing is this weekend. Even though Terrence is in a different weight class for his fight on the third, it still depends on what he does. Because at the end of the day, he lose any loss for Terrence matters, no matter what the weight class
At this
is.
point, yeah. At this
It
point, yeah.
doesn't matter. Like it makes him look weak no matter what. So Boots has to be dominant this weekend. Terrence just
Mhm.
got to win. That's all. Dominant
Yeah.
or not, he just got to win. But I think even the next two fights after that for Boots, because it's gonna be about two or three before that conversation really, unless it's really pressed in the media, because we know how social media can be. If unless it's
Mhm.
really pressed in social media or in the media for them to fight, it's gonna take at least two or three more fights.
Yeah.
It'll happen before Terrence hangs it up. Terrence is up there now, like he ain't young no more. So,
I think
um,
he's not young, but Terrence is still
now he still got some dog in him, a lot of dog in him.
the
Um,
thing that separates Terrence real quick is that Terrence is an elite boxer with like a goon switch. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
oh
where
God, that
where it's
nigga
like
is
I'm a I'm a box you. I'm going to box you for the first 10 rounds.
nigga
And then
came
the
in with
minute I
no
get tired
haircut.
of doing this shit, I'm gonna knock
Nigga
your ass out.
nap. Nigga had naps all over his head.
Yeah,
Like that nigga's a nigga. He has black Air Force energy on God. Matter of
yeah.
fact, didn't he wear black Air Forces coming into the fight? If I remember correctly,
Against Spence, I think so.
I
I think
think
he
he
did.
did. That's how I knew he was ready to
Yeah.
whoop that nigga ass. That
Yeah,
nigga had
like I
black
said, Terrence
forces on
Crawford
God.
is scary. He will literally like I'm a box you. Perfect. I'm a box you to a T for the first 10 rounds of this fight. And the minute I get tired of doing this shit, I'm going to knock
I'm
your
just
ass
gonna
out.
knock you out, bro.
I'm gonna
Like
knock you out. I'm tired of doing it, bro.
he has the ability to end a fight whenever he wants. If he wants to end it in the first round, he'll end it in the first round. If he
No.
wants to, he also understands how to make money. Because the
Listen.
money is not me knocking you out in the first or second round.
Mhm.
It's letting this bitch go about 7, 8, maybe 9, then ending the fight. Um, Technically he's not a welterweight anymore. Bud moved up, and Boots already got one of his belts. Bud ain't fighting Boots. Okay.
I think Bud still has. I forget which sanctioning body, but I think Bud still has several welterweight belts though. But yeah, like I said, he already said that he don't have to fight Jerron Ennis. He
Yeah.
probably won't. I think they may make it happen, but Terrence Crawford is not in a rush to
I
do it.
think the next fight, the next I don't know how I think it's big for personally, but after watching him this weekend, I'm not sure if I want to see it yet. Is Frank versus Keyshawn. I didn't
Mm,
like the way Keyshawn fought this weekend. Even though, I mean, I don't know, he was taking some hits. Him and dude he fought. Like dude stood in there. Keyshawn was throwing some things at him. And like he stood there and took him. Same thing on the other side. Like dude was throwing a lot at Keyshawn and he was just taking him. That one point where he picked Keyshawn up, I thought he was ready to like. I didn't know if that was about to be a Samoan drop, a slam, or what.
yo,
He was getting frustrated though. That's what the part that I love was Keyshawn was in his head. Like
I think that would be a great fight though.
I think it is too.
Not
I
only
think
inter- not only be great for both of them, like personally and professionally, but I think that would be a great fight for fans.
yeah, I love it. I
Like,
mean, one, I like Keyshawn because he's from the
oh
V,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
hometown. But um, I like Frank too. I liked Frank going into the Tank fight. I've been following Frank for a minute, so that's a good one. A great grudge match. I
Oh
think so
yeah, they
too.
they they've been calling for that one. Frank, and I hate this with Frank Martin because the first what 6 7 rounds of that Javante Davis, well, I forget what round he knocked him out in, but the beginning, the
It was
first
like 8. So,
eighth round. So yeah, okay. So the first like 6 7 rounds of that fight, Frank Martin showed so well for himself. Even if he was going on to lose the fight, he showed so well for himself, like legitimately. And part of it is just the way the Javante fought. It was like
yeah,
letting Frank kind of stock rounds
Vontae
out.
does that every fight for the
Yeah,
most part
absolutely,
anyway.
absolutely.
So
But this time he did. Javante didn't just let him do it. Frank was kind of taking it too. But it was like similar to Terrence. It's like Javante just like, all right, I'm tired of this shit. And it was like once he kind of figured Frank out, it was like, all right, cool, we finna go.
yeah,
And
that's
the
pretty
way
much
it
what it was.
ended, yeah, and like, but the way it ended, I think undid a lot of the good that Frank started the fight with
Yeah,
because
because
yeah, that
it's
that knockout, boom, boom.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It was crazy.
and then it's the still shot of Frank Martin's face turning inside out when Javante hit him.
God,
Like,
I
yeah,
still look
man.
at that. That shit just was nasty. All right, so there was also controversy from Saturday's card in the Oshaki fight.
I
And it
have
went
not
to the
seen that one.
so
I
you
have
have
not seen that
all
one
right.
yet.
So I did watch that one. Um, I'm with everybody. I'm with Oshaki and everybody else. I don't know what the fuck the judges. I
But
I do
it was a,
not
it was a
know.
scorecard issue.
Yes, it went to the judges, and I do not know how he lost. I'm talking about the whole building was shocked. He was
Mhm.
shocked. The hell, even the everybody. Like, I don't think there was a person in that building that was with the judges. Like
Oh, okay. I did. Okay, that's what he was. But where they tried to injure him, he was damn near about to cry in the
in
post
the
fight.
interview,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
have
Okay,
too, because like he got robbed.
yeah.
Shakur
But
touched on that in his interview. Also, the joint I sent you. Um, he said, I don't know. It's easy for him to talk now because he's no
yeah,
longer on Top Rank. But he said
hmm
he believes Top Rank has something to do with that. Because I believe the guy that beat him is a Top Rank fighter, and he's like signed. So like he got robbed, but they trying to push exactly. So that was the same thing that Cora was saying in the interview, was that they're trying to push the other guy, and he has. I think I think Oshaki only got like maybe one more fight left on Top Rank, and he hasn't re-signed with them, so they not really sure compared to like they pretty much just let Cora walk with a belt. I guess they didn't weren't they in a sense they don't want to lose two fighters and lose two belts. It was something like that Cora was saying, which made I can understand that. Like basically saying that they cooked the books in a sense.
yeah, man. I,
Like
I I hate that about boxing, and with the
it's
way
tough.
with this era of boxing that we're in right now, is like one loss can kill your career.
Hmm.
So like, it's even worse because this isn't the 70s, 80s, 90s where you can lose and get it back in blood and you can
Yeah,
be a legendary fighter with 3 4 losses.
because
You know what I
people
mean?
forget Ali Ali won undefeated,
Hell no, no. The only fighter of relevance that
and he's
hell
still one
period.
of the great. He is considered the greatest of all
Yeah,
time
Floyd
with
Floyd
losses on him.
Mayweather is the only fighter again of relevance that finished with an undefeated record that people like look to. Like Andre Ward was finished undefeated and I can't remember his name now. Damn.
Even
Um,
Tyson, greatest
Mike
puncher,
Tyson that has
probably
knockout. Like
the greatest puncher of all time, and
Mike
has
Tyson lost to
losses.
Buster Douglas.
Like,
Got
so
knocked out by Buster Douglas.
and I think that's the part that a lot of these young guys forget, man. It's like, it's cool being Floyd. I get it. Floyd is y'all, again, like we said, that's your Jordan, your
Yeah.
Kobe. But and we talk basketball, football, that all the time. And I know when I'm talking basketball, when I talk the greats, I don't even go to MJ first. Like, I'm
Mhm.
so much a student of basketball. I go back to Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. And boxing is similar because a lot of people don't talk about the yesteryear. They're
No.
looking at what yesteryear. They don't go back that far to remember like these
Yeah.
guys. And like you said, it's a different era. different time. Back then, they could, like you said, they could take 4 or 5 losses and still be a goat because of the wins they had
Yeah. Well,
compared to the losses they had.
what it is that, and this is just my opinion on it, but I feel like there's some fact to it. Is that it's a trickle down, right? So they look at the lifestyle of Floyd Mayweather. It's like, damn, I want that. He rich as hell. He can buy whatever he want. He got all the women, all the cars, planes, whatever. They look at that and be like, okay, how did he get that? Oh, he was undefeated as a fighter. All right, boom. So in order to get that lifestyle, I gotta have this in the and it's like a trickle down effect. Not realizing, okay, how you invest your money and spend your money plays a role in that. All of this
Yeah.
stuff outside the ring plays a role in what we see on a daily basis from Floyd Mayweather. But they look at it as, in order for me to get that lifestyle and to be that, I gotta be undefeated. There's no other way for me to attain that than to be undefeated.
And the crazy John is, man, you could take, like, look at Frank. Frank just took his first L, right?
Yeah.
Frank could come. Look at Canelo. Canelo
What,
is
two
a
losses?
perfect.
One or two? Two losses. Two losses.
I want to say
No,
it's
one.
two.
One. He lost. He lost.
One.
He
The
lost
only
to
loss he got is Floyd.
No, he lost. He lost to
The dude he just beat, right? Or not
Nah,
just
nah,
beat.
nah. The when he went to heavyweight or whatever it was.
I'm
Um,
about to tell you. But Canelo
I can't,
still has a
his
loss,
name started with a B.
regardless.
I can't remember his last name though. I mean, his first. I can't remember his name though. Bivol, Dimitri Bivol,
Yeah.
Dimitri Bivol.
Yeah,
He
there, yeah.
lost.
Kenny just said it, Bivol. Yeah.
Yeah, he lost to Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol beat him up too, but he
What
lost to
Canelo
Bivol.
is
So
Canelo is a good example of what I'm saying. Though, like,
yeah,
he's
he lost to Floyd. He
Floyd and
lost to
Bivol. Yeah.
Bivol, and he had three close ass fights with Triple G.
So and won them. My thing
I
is
think one
Canelo
was a
is
draw. I think.
yeah.
I think one was a draw.
But to me, Canelo is a perfect example of somebody who can take a L, win after that,
Mm.
took another one, but he still is like Manny Pacquiao too. Pac is another one. It's
Pacquiao
all
lost
about
though.
marketing though. It's
Listen,
like I feel like a lot of these guys know that they are only marketable when they're winning, but not realizing that you can lose and it's about the comeback. You know why the Charlos are still talked about so much? Not just well, I don't know. It might be just the out of the ring shit with them now.
now, yeah,
Because that might be go down as like in what in history is like
the Charlo heel turn is crazy. Like when they was coming up, they both had long hair and everything. Oh man, the Charlo's next up. We love the Charlo. What do you man?
I was
Yeah,
hype
bro.
about them, man. Them
Yeah.
Heard. Who else?
Oh man, Jared Hurd fell off. He lost and just
Man, I don't know what happened to Jared Hurd. Like, I was definitely a huge Jared Hurd fan, man. It's still the whole thing of like, it's not about the loss. Like, it's the comeback from the loss. That's the story. The story is always the comeback.
well,
Now, for a lot
I
of
think
these
how you
undefeated
lost
guys,
matters.
it's who's gonna beat them too. Because now
I
we want to know who's gonna be the guy to put Tank on his ass and beat him. Who's
right.
we know Devin can be beat now. Kenny,
Yes.
glad you're here. Um, uh, we know Devin can get touched. I mean, we've been on that, but like, I still think, I still think the blueprint was shown on how to beat Devin, regardless of what was taken. I still think the blueprint is there on how to beat Devin. It's the same way with Core now. Now niggas want to see who, like, is Core defense now because he's off top rank. Everybody wants to see him fight somebody, like fight a somebody, and see if that defense is really what it is. I personally do think it is. Like we said at the beginning, I think Core fought a great defensive fight, dude. And he was swinging them. It won't like Artem
Yeah.
won't trying to hit him. Artem was really throwing them. He was aggressive. He
I'm.
just could not hit him.
I mean, I think
Great
Shakur's at
defensive
a
fight.
point. I think Shakur's at a point professionally where you can't hide him anymore.
Nope.
He's at a point where moving forward, he's going to be fighting legitimate fighters, legitimate fights. You can't just put him in the ring with anybody. Of course, you can find a scrub in his weight class and throw him in there against every 2-3 fights, but you can't like every fight you putting him in there versus scrubs. He ain't got no business being in there with. Like at this point, we try and he's a title holder, he's a belt holder. So it's like okay, you got mandatories and you got we want to unify and shit like that. Like they can't hide him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
we
like
gonna see.
I don't know. Like so all right. And Kenny, you still here too. Which way y'all think he going? Is it Mayweather side or is he going Matchroom?
Core.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. I think he's going to. I think he's going to be a free agent for a while
Mm.
because, like I said, he turned down that $15 million offer. I forget if I don't know if it was, but it was probably top rank trying to keep him under contract.
Hey man,
But he,
Eddie want him bad, and I like the
yeah,
fact he's been retweeting everything, so it ain't like it's just the
but
Matchroom stuff, but Eddie is putting that pressure on him, and I ain't
but
saying
see,
Floyd ain't either.
Eddie is different though. Eddie Hearn is different as a promoter because Eddie Hearn doesn't necessarily because he has other ways of making money and selling tickets. Eddie Hearn doesn't necessarily just want to sign people that's going to sell out pay-per-views.
Hmm.
Eddie Hearn wants people going
He
to put
gonna
on
make the
good
pay per view
fights,
itself anyway.
right? Because a lot of his fighters, Eddie Hearn going to take your ass to England. That shit going to sell out regardless.
He
We
gonna
going
get
to
you your
London.
he
We
definitely gonna
going to
get you your
Saudi.
money over there.
Yeah, we going to
Him and the
England. We going to
Princess,
Saudi. We ain't worried about New York and Vegas and
nigga,
Atlanta and
him and
all
the
that. No, no,
Crown
no, no, no.
Prince is like this. He been putting that money
Right.
in Eddie pocket, boy.
So
They've been
so
putting
Eddie
together some
Hearn's strategy is
amazing
different.
fucking cards.
Eddie Hearn's strategy is different, and Frank Warren is kind of taking that. Although he's a lot older, he's kind of taking that Eddie Hearn mold where it's like, okay, I'm going to sign guys that put on good fights. Not and the American way is I want guys that's going to be entertaining. I want guys that's going to get knockouts, and you know what I mean. And Shakur, he's going to have to sign with with one of those two promotions, I think, because again, somebody like TMT or one of the Golden Boy is like to sell tickets over here. You got to be somebody that's a threat to knock somebody out. And at this point, we know that's not Shakur Stevenson.
But I think that's why he signs with Mayweather, with TMT. I think he does because of that, because he's not their typical fighter. And Floyd knows how to market a fighter like himself. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Core is a fighter like him. Who better to market that kind of fighter? And I think for the drama, I think a lot of people want him to sign with Floyd just because Floyd and Tank.
tanking.
I
Yeah,
mean Tank and Leonard, and then you got Floyd and Core on this side. And it's
not just
like
that. But you got the Devin Haney thing. Devin Haney don't mess with them even no more.
yeah. So it's like it. Them three guys all got to see each other. Like I don't care about who wins, who loses. Like
Yeah,
I don't like.
yeah.
It's kind of like that triangle is like the same triangle that was in the heavyweight division, like between Anthony Joshua, um,
Mm,
not Usyk, what's his name that he just
it,
beat, Tyson Fury
it was
and
Joshua Fury and Wilder.
Wilder. Yeah, that
That
three
was
way,
the
like those three men have that same
which.
three way where it's like I
Let
don't
me
give a fuck about the wins or losses. I still, to be honest with you,
let me just
I
say this.
still want to see Joshua and Fury. I still
Let,
want to see Joshua
let me
and
let me
whatchamacallit.
let me just say this. With all due respect, because I know it's not solely on him. Anthony Joshua may have fumbled two of the biggest bags in boxing history. I know it's not solely on him, but at one point, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder was the
Was
biggest fight
money,
in the universe.
money, and because they
They could
couldn't
have
agree on where
printed,
to fucking fight.
bro, they could have printed money with that fight. Oh, no, no,
I
no, no.
don't know about
Wilder's
Fury.
cooked. Wilder's done. Wilder's done.
Wilder's cooked. I don't know about Fury. I got to see this comeback
I
fight in
think,
December, and after that,
I,
I can
I
kind
think,
of go off of that.
I think Tyson Fury still has the ability. I just think he don't give it down no more.
It's the
I,
footwork. His footwork is horrible.
it's never been great. He had great head. He had great head movement. He can move out the way, and he's big as hell.
He's slew footed like a motherfucker. But that's
Like,
most really big ass tall niggas like him. Like they're all slew footed.
yeah, I mean Tyson Fury like six
Wilder's
foot
done though.
nine.
I don't want to see Wild, and I believe he's got a fight coming up soon.
Who Wilder?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if
Shit,
Wilder's still fighting for the money, or it's like,
shit.
or is it like I can't go out like this
Deontay Wilder is cooked.
because I feel like with a lot of boxers, once you take that first L and then you take the second one and you don't bounce back, then you take the third, then the fourth, and it's like,
It it
oh,
depends on how you built, right? So I'll say this, and a lot of people don't. A lot of casual fans won't know this name, and that's fine.
That
But
trilogy took a toll on
in
him. I can
in
see
the
that.
heavyweight division, Derek Chisora is somebody who Derek Chisora fights because he likes to fight. He loves to fight.
Hmm.
The money is the money. I'll make it when and how I make it, but I like to fight. I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose. I like to fight. Derek Chisora got like 6 losses, 7 losses. He don't care. He keeps fighting. He the same age as he's in that same age range as Wilder and Fury. He's up there. But a lot of guys, Deontay, especially when you've been at the top for ever, not ever, but like your peak, Deontay Wilder's peak was so high, like peak Deontay Wilder was like hanging out with the Pope, like for real. Like he was invited to the Vatican as a black man from Alabama, a black heavyweight champion from Alabama. He was invited to the Vatican by the Pope. Like peak Deontay Wilder is you know what I'm saying, because heavyweight division means that much. But when you
Hmm.
lose, especially when you're a fighter like Deontay Wilder, who, as we all know now, his skill set is lacking. And now that he's getting older, his power is not as fearful. So if you can avoid his right hand, you can beat him. And he's been beaten now 3 times, 4 times. So
No, I agree. I
like,
like I like that's and again I keep going back to UFC, but it's the same, man. I like them guys that just want to get in there and just bang, man. Like they don't care how many losses they got, they just like to fight. Like they ain't worried about that. And it's mostly in UFC, it'd be the Irish guys. The
yeah,
Irish, the Russians,
all them
the
Irish dudes is different. Them Irish dudes
man,
is
all of
different,
them.
man.
All of them
Them
Irish dudes
dudes,
is
they don't.
fucking nutty.
I don't give a damn about this payday. I want to punch somebody in the face. I don't
Bro,
care who it is.
I ain't worried about that I lost. I'm about to
They'll
get
they'll
right
pick
back in this
somebody out
ring.
the crowd. Yeah, bro. Derek Chisora don't care. I'm assuming that's about Chisora. He don't care.
Nah, he don't. He
He will
don't.
fight one of us if we can make weight.
As long
Like,
as we can throw them hands. That's all he worried about, man. That
like
man
I
uses
said,
boxing to get his aggression off.
at this point, like I said, my shit me. I'm peaking at 200 pounds right now. I'm good.
I'm beyond good.
I ain't, I ain't hopping in no boxing ring.
It's crazy. I'm technically I'm a heavyweight. I don't like this shit. I'm good.
Nah, I'm a cruiserweight right now. I'm good.
I'm I, I am great, guys. Tell you that. I don't even want to get in there with Vontae. I'm good. I'll fight Devin though.
Yeah, I'll fight Devin.
I'll get in there
Fight
with
Devin.
Devin. I might get in there with Core.
Nah.
Core ain't gonna punch me. Core, I might not punch Core either.
Y'all gonna sit there just staring at each other.
Right. It's payday. That's all I'm
They gonna
saying.
boo y'all out the building.
Nigga, I'm getting money. That's all I'm saying is that payday from that. I ain't hitting him. He ain't hitting me. Good. We both. I'm gonna look like Artem when I walk out that motherfucker smiling.
Hey man, listen.
So, nah, that whole card this past weekend was really good though. I watched all the fights. Like I said, love the Keyshawn fight on both sides. The Shaqy fight, I hated the way it ended with the judges, but that is also why they always tell you try to end that motherfucker before 12 or whatever, how many ever rounds it is, because you never want to leave it up to the judges because that you never know how that shit gonna go.
No.
Like you don't know how them niggas woke up that day, how they feel, how they walking. They could have been fine till they got to the arena, and some could have pissed them off, and now everybody's night about to be ruined. You know what I mean? So, um, who else had a good fight that night? Of course, core fight. This weekend, I'm trying to remember everything that's on the card. Like I said, I know I'm pretty sure Boots is like winning that pretty fucking clear. I mean, I'd be surprised if he didn't. Um, I had it pulled up earlier. I think I saved it. Let me see. I may not have. That's the one from this past weekend.
Terrence Crawford is fighting soon. This weekend.
That's
Next weekend.
no, Crawford joined is August 3rd.
August, okay.
Oh, that's who I want to man with. And like I said, if Kenny's still here, Abdullah Mason.
Mm-hmm.
That young man is special.
I see a lot of Terrence Crawford in him too.
That young man is special.
Where
Him
it's like, yeah,
and Carmel.
it's like I can box I can box when I want to, but the minute I get tired of doing that shit, I'm gonna
Hmm.
put you in your
That's
ass.
exactly what I get from Abdullah.
Yeah.
Like he made bro quit, and the funny joke was like he didn't even punch him at the end. Like he went like, and dude just ducked down. I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah,
like
he was fucking
little
you up.
little Trey Young, he
You
was like,
up.
all right, you got it, you got it.
He said,
He
"You
was
got
like,
it, dog. You got it."
you got
Funny.
it,
Oh,
bro.
the ref was like, "They threw the top, man." But Carmel,
Yeah, man.
yo, that young man is something. I don't know where Floyd found him. I don't know how Floyd got in
I
there.
mean, they be
That's
sleeping
his.
Floyd.
That is his new tick. That is his golden
But
fucking ticket.
nah,
That young
Floyd
man
gotta.
is
This is this
gifted.
is this is what I need Floyd Mayweather to do because it happens time. It's been happening for the last 10 to 15 years. Floyd will get a young fighter, have him in his camp, develop him, train him, and the minute he starts smelling a little bit of success, like man, fuck TMT, and he on to something else. And Floyd is like, well, damn,
Yeah,
I mean, it happened with Tank, it happened with
yeah.
Devin, it's happened with several other younger fighters that were signed to
I like the
TMC.
fact that if he does get core, he's getting core at a better age than he got everybody else. That's the good thing about it too.
Yeah, Core's already he would be an established fighter. He didn't
Exactly. He didn't
essentially cut his teeth for TMC.
exactly.
Yeah,
So I
for
like
sure.
Camille though. I watched that fight back because I couldn't. It was too many, bro. I didn't realize me and Jermaine was talking about this Saturday
Mhm.
before all the fights, bro. I didn't realize it was like four different fight cards. Like Golden Boy had a
Bro,
card, Matchroom
every
had a
I think
card.
every major promotion had a card, I believe.
Yeah, I was like, God,
Mhm.
damn, everybody is fighting, and there was some really good fights like the whole weekend. Like I said, I went back to watch the Carmel one. It was a couple other ones I had to go back and watch. I pretty much watched that entire Matchroom card. I mean not Matchroom, Top Rank card that was on ESPN.
Mhm.
I caught it after what else came on Saturday? Oh, wrestling, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
this boxing
Of
that
course.
that's part of what I was watching too. But like I said, my kids was here, so I was trying to be in and out between wrestling and watch a little bit of boxing to make
Right.
sure they good. But
I had my son,
um,
so I had him, we were just watching all of it. So
yeah, man. I think, and we made this comparison the last time I was here with boxing being excuse me compared to battle rap in a sense, right? And you having experience, running a league and managing and all that kind of stuff. It was like, okay, if URL has an event this day, we not gonna have our card this day, or
right.
you know what I mean. And so for 3 or 4 major promotions to have fights all on the same day, I get it because you still in a competitive space, and it's like, okay, well, our card is better. They're gonna come spend their money with us. But like as the consumer, it's like, okay, as a fan, now we all know people have lots of ways to watch fights without necessarily paying for them. But hey, man, listen.
Me being one of them.
But if I'm a promotional company, it's like, do I want to risk it? Like if it's just okay, top rank versus going up against Golden Boy, that's one thing. But okay, you got Golden Boy, top rank, match room, uh, um, uh, whatever Frank Warren promotion it. Like you got all these different companies going at it, and it's like, okay, while I believe in our product and I'm confident in our product, they have good fighters too. And if we are on a platform that you have to pay for, the Zone, ESPN Plus, whatever the case, whatever that may be, it's like we are running a risk of somebody choosing a different product over ours, and now we're not making the money that we want to make. And I feel like they are kind of doing themselves a disservice unnecessarily. I don't know, but
No, I agree.
you
I
know,
definitely trying to get this damn USA game. Um,
UNC.
yeah, USA and Canada
Oh,
came on at
USA, USA. My bad,
10:30.
my bad.
I'm trying to remember which channel. I'll catch it. Um, yeah,
My
that was
TV is
the
not
that was the
full.
horrible part, man. Like, cause like I said, everybody for the most part, it was a really good card. Um, and it definitely sucked when all of that is on the same weekend. Like,
Yeah. Most of them at the same time.
yeah, pretty much all of them. I think basically, except for the one that was on Dazzin, everything else was like And I think honestly, that's what helped Top Rank being on ESPN helped
Mhm.
them because it's free.
Right.
Easy access. For the most part, everybody got cable or somehow they can watch it without having to like pirate it compared to everything that's on pay-per-view. You got to figure out like the link, the stream, like how I'm a pirate this joint. So like
Mhm.
so but yeah, definitely not next week's show. Show after that one, I'm gonna definitely bring you and Kenny in because I definitely want to talk that Dazzin card that's got Terrence Crawford on it. It is a lot of heavyweights on that card. That card is I'm trying to see if I still got it in my
Man,
phone, but
it's
that
the
card
zone,
from
man. You're
top
gonna
to
get us
bottom.
canceled, man.
Is it the zone?
It's the zone. It's stupid, but it's it's the
I
zone.
be
You're gonna get us
bro, I be
canceled.
saying Dazzin every damn time, yo.
Because it looked like Dazn. It's Dazn. I would I would say
It
Dazn too.
it
I
really
don't know where
does,
Eddie
but it's
Hearn
the
got the
zone.
zone from, but yeah.
Some form, some across the water shit. That's all that is. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think I got that joint. The last card I really got on here is the. I had it somewhere. I'll find it. Well, I'll have it that week anyway. But let's see. Not too much in football has really been going on.
I mean, Brandon Ayuk been losing his mind, but other than that, we.
I don't even know what to say about that, man. I feel like at this point, you just trade that nigga, and I wouldn't even trade him where he want to go because he ain't. It ain't like he
Man.
got a trade clause. I send
So
that
this
nigga to
is
the pits of who was the worst. What's I don't even know what is the worst team anymore to send him to because
who
I
was the
feel like
first pick?
everybody has gotten pretty much better.
Yeah.
I can't even say Carolina anymore because I feel like you send him. Brandon Ayuk is still one of them players. Like you can send him to. You can send him to the Giants, and the Giants offense
So
just got
you want
amazing.
to send him to hell was what you said.
Yeah, and I don't even know what's hell anymore in the NFL like it used to be. Is it Arizona? I
I
can't even
mean, you
say
still
that
got
because
Kyler.
you send him to Arizona. That's why I'm like, bro. Any team I'm thinking of, you send them there, and it's like, damn, they just got better. You can't send them to the Bears. You
I'm
can't
about
send
to
them
say
to
Cleveland, but nah, Cleveland good now.
Cleveland's. That entire division is fire. Like I
Tennessee,
ain't even gonna
maybe.
lie. Now
Tennessee.
but Tennessee got a nice wide receiver room, and I like Will Levis personally. I
Well, you
do.
know, me and
You
Will,
know more about him because of
yeah,
Kentucky, but
yeah.
like I paid attention to him going into that draft. We had a I don't know if we had a I think that was before the pod, so we were having a pre-draft space
Mm.
last year, and I was like, "Yo, Will Levis is still in the draft for real." Tennessee was him Anthony Richardson. I said the teams that drafted them, it was perfect for them. Even though I did feel like Anthony Richardson to me fit might have been a little bit of a better fit in Seattle. That was the only thing. I said it was either Seattle or Indianapolis. For me, was the best fit for him. Indy took him, so I was still right. I felt like Will Levis. It was only I think it was y'all in Tennessee, but I felt more Tennessee than
Oh,
y'all,
Will
and I was
Levis.
glad. Yeah, I was glad Tennessee took him.
I ain't like what the Giants might be hell right now, but I'm looking at the NFL like trying to see who might be hell right now, and it's like,
The Giants,
man,
after watching that damn Hard Knocks, the Giants is for
nah.
sure hell. They are hell.
New
They are
England maybe
stupid.
New
New
England.
England is hell.
That's
That is
crazy to
depth
think
because they
about.
ain't even got who's they court. They drafted the young boy.
Drake
They
May.
drafted Drake May. That might be hell now. That's
That's
actually
crazy.
that's
That's
actually
crazy.
now that I think about it, that's
That's
hell.
crazy. That's
Because
crazy.
you can't send him to Buffalo because you give Josh Allen that with what he just drafted too.
Mm-mm.
That's
Mm-mm.
nasty.
No,
I think New England is hell now.
that's
That is
crazy.
now hell. I need to tweet that out. New England is now hell.
I mean, for personal reasons, I don't like the Patriots. No way, so I'm cool with that. But the
I like
idea
Tom. I
of the
always loved
Patriots
Tom. I
being
hated
held,
the Patriots. So
I was cool with Tom. I don't like the Patriots now. But again, neither here nor there. Um,
that's definitely
um,
hell. That's hell.
that's crazy.
It's crazy, right? That's a total 180 that now going to being traded to New England is going to hell. Because it used to be like going to the Bucks or some shit was going to hell. Or
Yeah,
like, no, I can't even send you to the Jags. Because that makes the Jags a lot better. I can't send you to Miami because we already see what they got.
but so this is my thing, and I've been saying this on my podcast. Cooling No Coach Breeze podcast on YouTube, by the way. Um, I don't think Brandon Ayuk has any leverage with the
He don't.
49ers.
He's
Like
still under a rookie contract.
you are under contract.
A rookie one at that.
We don't have to trade you. And if you continue to miss mandatory stuff, we get to fine you, which is costing
We
you more money.
like eventually he's just gonna come in and play. That's I mean for sure.
Yeah.
But he's trying. He is trying his hardest, and all you gonna get is conduct detrimental to the team.
And that's what I
That's
said
and you
earlier.
don't want to get that.
If they don't trade you, because they're not going to release you. So if they
No,
don't trade you, you have to go back into that locker room. You got to
and
go
you didn't.
back to that team. And these bridges are
A
all
lot of them are burnt.
they the gasoline is on the bridge. They just waiting for you to throw the match on them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, because you pretty much at this point is saying, I don't believe in this offense. I don't believe in this team. Fuck these niggas. Like, that's literally what you're saying.
I mean, he went on the pivot and named two teams he would play for. He did say I want to be in San Francisco, but he also named. He didn't say this. He didn't take the high road and be like, oh, I mean, whatever happens, happens. But like, I want to be in San Francisco. He named two other teams by name, with the quarterback of one of those teams sitting in the room with him,
Oh, yeah, because
and
Jaden
said
Daniels was with him, right?
he was with him.
Yeah.
And he said, I would love to play with the Commanders. I would love to play with Jaden Daniels, but I want to be in San Francisco. And if I can't get to the Commanders, hey, I would love to be in Pittsburgh still and play for Mike Tomlin. These are Brandon Ayuk's words.
Yeah, I can't even say that's hell no more. But they don't know what they want to do at quarterback. So that might
Listen, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is actually in a very good place. I think it's weird because I feel like Russell's gonna have a resurgence. But if he doesn't, I don't even think they're confident in the guy they traded for behind him, which is crazy. Like they traded for him, but I don't even think they're confident in him being a starter. So,
Man. I mean, does Justin Fields really give you a lot to be confident in?
I mean, going off of last season, neither one of them do. If you want to keep it 100, only
Right.
difference is
So
one is a Super Bowl winning vet, and the other one is a rather rookie and still in a sense.
I mean,
So it's
yeah.
like,
So was Drew Brees, and he couldn't throw the ball 20 yards this last season.
nope.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And Russ ain't even like Russ old. That's the wild part. You know what I mean? Like, so I just think I
Cam
think
Newton was
Denver.
MVP.
I think Denver was just the wrong place for him to go.
Oh yeah,
I don't know
we
what
know
he
that.
was thinking going into that. I don't know if it was the money or what. It could have been the money because the man. That's why he took the pay cut going to the Steelers. He was like, y'all ain't even got to pay me for real. Give me about
I
$1 million.
mean,
Like he literally, they pay him what, $3 million?
Sean Payton had a personal issue with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
What that issue is, I don't know, but he
It had to
clearly
be
had a
something.
personal issue with us.
It had to be something deep because
it was literally I don't like this dude. Whatever power you think you got, you don't have. I'm not gonna let you challenge my authority or nothing like that. Whatever issues you have, you deal with. I'm not gonna deal with that shit.
yeah,
Like
basically.
and you know what I mean? Like his actions support that.
The hell?
So I mean,
It's always a WWE match around here. I don't know if it's their mom jumping them or them jumping their mom. It's crazy.
Hey, man,
But yeah, man, like football, I'm excited the closer we get to talk a little more football. I definitely got, of course, bringing you back. I got hella guests I want to bring in for football. It's gonna be amazing this year. Like the parity, I look at it the same way I'm looking at basketball now, and I'm pivoting into that. Like the parity, how almost every team, in a sense, on paper at least, is great. You know what I mean? It ain't too, like we just said, like as we were looking at where to send Brandon Ayuk, it's not too many, like nowhere is hell anymore. There used to be about 6 or 7 teams that were hell. I still think the Panthers are hell, but at least on paper, they don't look like hell.
Yeah.
Patriots look like hell. That's hell. That is just
it's I think
but
it's gonna be.
As you break down each division, it's tough because I can't send them to the Rams. That makes the Rams better.
That NFC West is packed.
even with who the Raiders got at quarterback with Minshew and somebody else, you send them to the Raiders. That you got Devontae and Ayuk on out. Psh, nasty.
Yeah.
Broncos are hell. There we go. I know it was another team. God damn, we just talked about them. I forgot about that shit. The Broncos are hell.
Didn't they just draft
Seattle,
somebody?
yeah. My man, what's his name? The quarterback everybody kept saying is trash from Oregon.
Oregon. Oh, Bo
D- d-
Nix. Bo
Bo
Nix. Bo
Nix.
Nix.
I love Bo Nix. I
Yeah.
personally like Bo Nix for me, but
No.
but but that's still hell. Seattle's not hell. It's like right above hell.
I think Seattle is
It's like
close.
Grant. It's like you. It's like you're on Earth. I
What
guess you would say like you on Earth. You're not in. It's not. It's not great. You there though.
man,
You
if
ain't underground yet.
one or two things go wrong in Seattle, it will be hell.
Right. So that's why I'm like, it's Earth. It's like you on the ground. You
Yeah.
right there. You ain't 6 feet under. You ain't deeper than that, but you on the ground. You laying there. Um, I don't think the Rams are hell. I think the Rams are also Rams might be right below Seattle in my opinion. Like they ain't on the ground no more. They like underground. They about 4 feet, but they still ain't hell. Patriots is hell. Broncos is hell. Like that's hell.
Yeah.
Giants.
The
I
AFC is
think the AFC is different. Like the teams that you would expect to be at the top are at the top in the AFC. You don't expect Houston to be at the top, but they are running. The Chiefs, of course, are running. Miami, the Jets. I love what the Jets did in the offseason and what they added as far as protection for Aaron Rodgers. I think this is gonna hopefully this season does not go like his last, and all we got was one, not even one game, a snap.
I
Uh
mean, how
Nigga,
much
we got a
longer do we
snap
think we have with Aaron Rodgers?
this
Because he's
season,
about to be
maybe
what,
two.
41, 42?
This season, maybe the next, depending on how this season go. If this season goes bad, he's done. If this season is like we're almost there, like most quarterbacks, if it's like on some like yo, we're almost over the hump. We just need to
Mhm.
figure out one more piece to add, defense or offense, to get us there. I think he comes back. But if this season is horrible, like
And
just
this is the
not
this is the
making the
thing.
playoffs, all of that, I think he's done after this year. I think he starts to transition into the booth for coaching or whatever else he want to do after football. I think this season says that.
But this is the thing with the Jets, and I know we're about to transition, but the thing with the Jets is the Jets have a lot of good young pieces,
Yeah.
but the quarterback is obviously, when we understand, the quarterback is by far the most important position in football, and their quarterback situation, although I know they have a former but 2 3 time MVP
Mm-hmm.
as their quarterback. He's what, 41, 42 years old, coming off of a torn Achilles, and I know he wasn't a super athlete, so a torn Achilles may not affect him, but he's also, because of his age, it may, but just off of the way he plays football, a torn Achilles might not affect him that much. But they traded Zach Wilson. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember who their backup quarterback is right now, but I know.
Let's take a look.
Yeah,
New York
I don't, I know
Jets
it's not anymore, but Mike White is
roster.
popping into my head. I know it's not Mike White. Um,
Jordan Travis, it looks like.
from Florida State.
Uh yeah.
So
It says
your
Aaron
top two
Rodgers and Jordan
quarterbacks.
Travis.
So your top two quarterbacks are a
Tyrod Taylor's there.
41. Jesus Christ.
Don't do that. I love Tyrod.
I mean,
Andrew Peasley. They
who?
actually, I don't know. He's on here though. Uh, he's probably like, look, after calling those names, he's probably fourth string. He's definitely
Absolutely. He's
probably
got it.
fourth string.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's they four quarterbacks on.
So you
They ain't showing
have
nobody else.
Tyrod Taylor, who
He's
feels like,
probably second or third string.
yeah. I mean, I know he's not, but it just feels like Tyrod Taylor about 45 years old. Like, it just feels like he was in college so long ago. And then you have Aaron Rodgers, who's what, 41, 42, coming off of a torn Achilles. And then you have Jordan Travis, who literally snapped his leg in half on national television last year.
I
And a
didn't even
lot
know
of
he
people
came out.
didn't even think he was going to be a quarterback in the NFL.
I didn't know he came out.
He was a
I
senior. He had
didn't.
to. He had to.
Hold on. First off, let me address this real quick. I'm clearly your favorite podcaster. Hey Sierra. That's it. That's all.
I
Uh
don't know.
and
I
she
don't know.
about to comment, not this. I know it's coming.
Hey, brother,
it's
I don't,
it's this.
I don't know what you and Miss Reed got going on. That, hey, brother,
Nothing at
listen.
all. I'll be up north soon. I'll be up that way soon. This weekend, next weekend, one of them. Either way. I'll be up that
Oh
way.
man,
Probably with this nigga, but I'll be up that way. So um I didn't even know Jordan Travis came out. I figured he was staying. That plays a lot into Florida State being even worse next year now. Okay.
oh no,
Huh.
they got DJ Ukulele.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm very familiar with him. I am.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So he's their starting quarterback now.
But I mean, yeah, Aaron get hurt again. It's either Tyrod or Jordan Travis.
Right. I don't even know if
Unless you
Jordan
find a
Travis is
free
cleared
agent
yet.
somewhere. It'll probably be Tyrod first and then
Oh
Jordan
yeah,
Travis, depending
yeah.
on how camp go. So just depending.
Sierra drag keys to the Showtime Battle Arena event July 20th. King of the Hill, Martini. Um,
Yeah, you know what's here? Next week we're gonna talk battle rap. It's amazing, it's fun. Don't think bad about it. I promise you, it's a great time. It
oh
is. Cause you know how it is, man. People hear battle rap and they like, nah, I don't even
yeah.
know. Nah,
Bro,
nah. It's
I don't even tell anybody I'm a battle rapper, bro. Like, if you
I don't even
find out, you find out. But I
I don't
promise you, I'm not
tell
just
I
finna
don't even tell people
disclose
that I
anything.
own the league. Like I don't I'm not even a fan of this shit no more. Like being a league owner is maybe what man, that's a whole different show.
Yeah,
That shit
that's a
has made
dog.
me
Yeah, yeah.
hate battle rap. I don't even watch that shit. Like I couldn't tell you the last battle I sat and watched because I'm just not interested. That's why
Yeah.
nobody thinks I'm coming next week because like I don't like battle rap no more, bro. This
Yeah, I
shit's
think
crazy.
I'm coming to the end of the road, man.
It's man, I
Coming to
tell
the
you,
end of the road, bro.
yeah,
It's
it's
fun. I love it, but I'm coming to the end of the road, bro.
that's why I'm coming next week. I need to get that feel back, man. I want to start. I seen slumming them through an event, and I'm like, yo, niggas is doing something. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I need to come back outside for like one card. Just
Yeah. Tell Slum to battle me, man. Slum ducking. Um
he
that's a
battling
different show.
Shoddy, shit.
That's a different show. Exactly. He battling whatever.
Which is crazy because I know that shit about to be. We know how Shoddy is. We know how Slum is. That shit gonna be like some anime wrestling fun shit that I'm gonna love, yo. That shit's gonna be amazing.
Oh yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
come just for that because that's
I
gonna be
want you to
amazing.
I want you to hear this wrestling scheme I got too. But
Oh, definitely, we're
anyway,
gonna talk about that.
back to
But
the
I've
sports.
so now, so we were transitioning to basketball, and
Mhm.
as we were transitioning, I was looking up some, and I seen Sadiq Bey signed with Washington, three
As we
years,
were going
20 million.
live. hmm
What
hmm
you think?
I like it. I you know what? I'm I do like the signing, along with Jonas Valanciunas that we signed a week or two ago.
I'm shocked that y'all got Valanciunas.
I am confused. Honestly, this is not a knock on the Wizards. I am confused as to what the Wizards are doing because I understand that we're going into the early phases of a rebuild. I do understand that, but you go and get three first round picks. Cool, I like them all. Now you're getting good veterans on good deals, very good
Hmm.
deals.
Yeah,
Like, are we rebuilding this thing? Are we trying to like? I can only imagine to an extent like Sadiq Bey and Valanciunas could both be trade bait at some point in time. Like they aren't. You know, I feel like they might still be trying to trade Kyle Kuzma, although I would have done that before the draft if I was going to do it.
yeah. I'm actually
Um,
cool with I seen something about the Lakers talking about trading to get him back.
yeah,
I
I
would
saw
be
that.
okay with that. I would actually be okay with that. We ain't did shit else. I mean, shit.
I don't see. I think the Lakers are too still too good of a team. This is the way I think with basketball. If I'm going to trade for a pick, or trade a good player for a pick, I'm not going to trade that player to a good team because the pick that I'm getting in return, it's not the NFL where you get, you getting a starting caliber player within the first 3 4 rounds of the draft. Like basketball, the majority of second round picks in the NBA, half of them don't even play in the NBA ever.
Nope.
Like so,
We're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah, so I don't really want a first round pick that is in the back end of the first round or let's see that. I don't want a first round pick that's in the back end of the first round or a second round pick if I'm trading that for a starting caliber player. Yeah, Jay Real, we said we fight Devin. We both said we probably
Sure
lose,
did.
but we fight him though. I'll fight him.
I Devin don't scare me. I get in the ring with Devin Haney.
I
I ain't
mean,
seen that nigga knock nobody. I ain't worried about that nigga.
no, he had
Sierra,
knockout of
yes.
the year a few years ago.
Yes, battle raps here. Battle raps. Fun, man. It's a great time. Family, environment, everybody's everybody. It's cool. Yeah. Should definitely pop out. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Um PG going to the Sixers. Is that impactful?
Now that one,
Where does that put them in the East now? Like Boston clearly still number one, clearly.
yeah, yeah,
I don't think
for
I
obvious
think
reasons.
I think the Knicks also made a nice move with Mikal Bridges.
Hmm.
I think that 2-3 is weird because I got Milwaukee at 4. And it's crazy to say that a team with Giannis and
So I have a question. I have a question. Am I the only person that, for some strange reason, is not fully sold on Jalen Brunson?
no, you're not. You're
Like
not.
I feel like when I watch him play, I feel like
Because the East is weird this year. This season coming up. Because now we getting an Indiana team that is
Mhm.
gonna gel together, and
Yes,
that's gonna be nasty. Um we have a Knicks team that also is gonna gel together with the Mikal Bridges now. We have a Philly team that lost Tobias Harris but added PG.
I think that's a net game.
We have a huh. That's really it. No, I don't think anybody else in the East did any. Atlanta, I think Atlanta regressed in my opinion.
I think Atlanta's trying to regress.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're trying to reset and retool. Um, I don't know about them trading
Um,
Trey Young. I've heard rumors, but you know, again, that seemed like something that was more likely before the draft, not after.
yeah, I agree with that. You said they signed Pelican signed Murray.
Which Murray? Dejounte Murray?
Oh, what the
The hell
fuck,
was that? That was Thunder.
nigga? I ain't even go. I'm glad y'all heard that live. That shit just scared y'all.
The
Ain't even
hell was
see me
that?
jump. I don't even think y'all niggas saw me jump. That shit just scared the
Nah,
hell out of me.
I
Damn, I
thought so
forgot it was
too.
supposed to storm. No, I definitely forgot it was supposed to storm tonight. They did get DeJounte Murray. Yes, they did trade Atlanta traded DeJounte to New Orleans. 'Cause I remember I was making a joke because his he with young boy baby mama. So I was making a joke about about the niggas in New Orleans on his ass. I forgot about that. Yeah, I like that. I'm not gonna lie. I think that but the weird thing is CJ a 1 or a 2? Like
CJ
I think
McCollum.
CJ's listed as a 1
I think he's more naturally a two.
because I think in Portland he was a 2, right?
Yeah, they are Dame.
Portland he played 2 with Dame, but
Yeah,
then in with the Pelicans, I remember on 2K they got him at point guard. With the Pels, he's a point. But is Dejounte? I think him and Dejounte is dope because they both can play off the ball. So I
yeah.
definitely think that adds something for them. I gotta see what they do with Bi.
Well,
That's
they
the
they
biggest
they bringing
piece.
combo guards back now.
Yeah. And I
So
like that. I definitely like
yeah,
that. I think
yeah.
it depends. I think they should keep Bi. I don't think you trade him yet. You wait to see what how that all meshes. Because I think adding DeJounte brings in another scorer.
Mhm.
Defensively, it's gonna look good. I think you got to figure out what you're doing at center. Make sure Zion is fully healthy coming into this season. He played great last year. He pretty much played majority of the season. I think the Pels. I think this season is gonna look just like last season, right? I believe a lot of the young teams. The Kings did something amazing too. DeMar DeRozan Losing Harrison Barnes but adding DeMar DeRozan to me was amazing for them too.
That's
But
also
I
good.
think we're also going to run into once again a lot of these young teams are going to look great during the season. They're going to be at the top
Mhm.
of the NBA as far as the West all season. You're going to have the Kings at the top. You're going to have Memphis at the top. Um, even the Pels. Pels was up there last year. You're going to have all of them. Kings slid last year because of some injuries, but they started out great. Um, all of these teams are going to look great at the top of the NBA.
Mhm.
What's going to happen is the closer we get to play to the end of the season, going into the playoffs, the veteran teams are going to take over, just like we saw Minnesota, Dallas.
Is
Dallas had a
Minnesota a veteran team though? Well,
at this
you got Cat, you got what
Cat's a vet
Gobert.
now.
Yeah, you go Bear.
Gobert's a vet now. Everybody except for Ant.
And, I
I want
mean,
to
but
say
Ant
most of that
plays like a
team
veteran.
was right. He a dog.
Let me say this
He's
about
a dog.
them. Whoever had the bright idea to allow Minnesota to trade for Rob Dillingham and add him into the backcourt with Anthony Edwards has
Hey, bro.
lost their ever loving mind. That's going to be one of the most explosive backcourts in
Let
the
me tell
entire.
you something that San Antonio was stupid. Why did you trade away? And I know they had just drafted what's his fucking name? I think it was the nigga from UConn. They had drafted him, and I was like, I
Mhm.
bet that's fire for them to put with their big man. Then they drafted Dillingham, and I was like, oh, they got a nasty backcourt.
Yeah.
Then you trade them to Minnesota, and I'm like, you okay? You
Yo,
good?
the idea.
Was it Pop? It might have been Pop. Pop might have said, I know he's not racist, but Pop might have said, "There's too many niggas. There's too many niggas. I can't do this.
Bro,
Like,
the
there's too many niggas, dog. I can't do
the
this shit."
idea, like, and again, I went to Kentucky, so you know what I mean. Like, I'm a Kentucky fan.
Him and
Like
Ant together is about to be
the
nasty, dog.
idea of Rob Dillingham and Ant Edwards in the same backcourt is terrifying.
Let me look at this Timberwolves roster,
Now,
man.
I'm a Wizards fan, so we only got to play them twice a year. But to anybody on the Western Conference, listen,
Nah, this is nasty, man. You got Ant Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Carl Anthony Towns. You got Jaden McDaniels, Nas Reed, Rob Dillingham now, Mike Conley Jr. They drafted Luca Garza, which is crazy. He was going nuts for Iowa. You got Jalen Clark from UCLA. He was doing this thing. You got Jordan McLaughlin. I mean, after that, it's a bunch of who the fuck are you niggas? But except for Nikhil Alexander, they got Joe Ingles and TJ Warren, who are pretty much, I guess you could say at the end.
yeah,
Joe Ingles, I don't think is at the end, but he kind of is. He's a nice little spot up shooter on offense to come in with the second unit, maybe third. I'm not mad at that. But San Antonio, let's look at this. San Antonio Spurs players. There we go. Um, Here we go. We got Victor Wembanyama, Jeremy Sochin, which I like. I like Jeremy. Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, um,
another top
Chris
tier.
Paul, Trey Jones, Cedi Osman, Zach Collins, Harrison Barnes now. Um, and after that, it's just really again same thing. A bunch of who's. Nobody we know. Dominic Barlow. Yeah, I don't know the rest of these niggas. They were stupid. I would have kept him. I would have
Man, what?
definitely kept him. Him and
I'd have
Devin
built,
Vassell. I mean, was it no? Him
Ro-
and Stephen Castle together would have been crazy.
dog, Rob Castle and Wimby, you crazy.
Jeremy Showing. Oh my god, and kept dog. They definitely were wilding. They for sure. Even when you got Chris Paul on the floor, Trey Jones,
And then aren't they in
like
the same division?
I believe so. And then you got Harrison Barnes coming, who's probably and Zach Collins. Like they were stupid. That's a future right there. That
Like,
young future of Victor, Jeremy, Stephen, Rob, Devin Vassell alone would have been crazy. Keldon Johnson, like Trey Jones is still young, relatively young. So like I don't know. Sometimes people, I mean, everybody make different moves for different reasons. Like whether it's a scheme fit or they felt like what they got back is better. I think Minnesota set up for a very long time with that move. Cause yeah, that's crazy. Nigga just sent me that Samantha Irvin picture, dog. That shit is
Uh,
crazy.
there's a new one.
Yeah, she just dropped it on her Instagram, man. Hey man, Ricochet. I ain't saying I wouldn't let my girl be free and do, do
I
your
hate
thing.
Ricochet.
I mean, that's my girl. So I
I
don't care
hate
what she
Ricochet.
posts. She ain't
Uh,
posting naked. I'm still hitting that every night. You know what I mean? But like, man, dog, like for her to only be an announcer, right? She ain't even talent. She talent, but she ain't talent. She
I
ain't in the
hate
ring doing that.
Ricochet, bro.
She's more over than most of the damn wrestlers.
I got so much joy when Braun Breaker tried to snap Ricochet in his ass, man.
But I will say these matches in AEW about to look amazing. Him and Will Ospreay doing it again. Him and Swerve. It's so many matchups that's gonna go crazy over there for him. Like no funny. Him and Okada. If it's a lot, I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna enjoy that. I also saw they just signed Stephanie. Is it shit? I can't say her damn name. WWE grabbed her. I seen when that first report came out earlier that she dropped the CMLL titles and both of her CMLL titles, and she's not taking any more bookings. And as of today, she was no longer with CMLL or New Japan. I said that's a WWE move because
Hmm.
AEW doesn't do that. You don't have to stop working somewhere else when you sign with them. They want you to work other places so that way they talent can be seen more. Like when Jacob got signed, I remember Mania weekend, my boy was like, he got pulled off the GCW card. I was like, oh yeah, he signed. That I knew that moment when he told me Jacob got pulled off of the GCW card and the future GCW stuff. I said, yeah, he signed that weekend.
Oh, I
I
mean
knew he
that
signed that weekend.
the whole anybody whose last name is Fatu or NY they
Unless your name is Zilla, he ain't signed yet. But it's a reason why, and I understand it. I
Zilla
get it.
coming. Zilla,
He's coming. He's for
Zilla
sure coming. He actually might.
coming.
I wouldn't even be mad if Zilla went the AEW route for like 2 or 3 years first.
Nah, they
Because he
gotta do
still got
that.
a lot to learn. That's why I say that.
Yeah,
And he could
he
learn it
is.
in NXT, but the moment he signs with WWE, he can't go to NXT. He
But
has to go main roster, and
this
he's not ready.
this is
So it's
what I
like
say.
I'd rather him go the AEW route, learn the little stuff he needs to learn, then come over there and go straight main roster.
So I said this on Twitter a couple days ago, and I was like, I am I'm good on Tamatanga and Tangalore, respectfully, like whatever, right?
I love God personally.
Jacob Fatu
He's
is
that
a
nigga.
dog.
He's that nigga.
And I think Zilla Fatu is very much in that same mode. I know he's a lot rougher around the edges. You know what I'm saying? Because he's younger and newer. But I
Mm-hmm.
think like them two, man, listen. They going Zilla might come around next year or sometime like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
listen, Jacob 5-2 is finna.
Jacobs, I said this in the space, and dude was like, he was wilding on me, right? I told him, me personally, Jacob is better than everybody in that family. He's better than Roman. He's
Yeah,
better than Solo.
I agree.
Like, I think they brought him in at the best time where Roman's gone and you get to really see Jacob. Jacob's way is
I
20
think
times better than Solo.
the only thing I think that might be cause for concern for them is because of their in-ring ability. Jacob is better in the ring than anybody that's currently working. I know Roman is on break right now.
He's still better than Roman. Even if
I
Roman
know,
won't on break.
I know,
Like
but Roman is a
the
different.
thing, did you see what he did Saturday? Like just that was like,
Yeah,
bro. And the crazy thing is though, I have a theory how the whole thing is gonna go. And I think a few other people have said the same thing where he's like a spy for Roman. Because there was an interview that he did prior, and I feel like this was after being signed. Because it was,
Uh-huh.
I think it might have been before, where he was saying that Roman is his tribal chief. That I don't know how much Tripp is that smart to use that and play that into
Man,
the
listen.
forward. And Tripp is smart as shit. So, but I like that.
I feel like they've made some booking mistakes, but
I,
not not
I,
not with the not with the bloodline, not with the bloodline. I mean, it's in general.
I don't
I
think Roman
think
should have lost,
I think the
but I get him
bloodline is
taking.
one of
He
the
had to
best
take the break.
booked stories. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
think I think the bloodline, not just now. I mean, now it's by far the best, but I think the bloodline is one of the best book storylines like in the history of WWE.
for sure, Sierra. He
Yeah,
definitely is. Like the
Jacobs.
things
Listen,
he does, and he slimmed down. That was the one thing I said when he debuted that night. I said, oh, Buddy lost weight since Mania. I
but
remember
Jake,
seeing him Mania
he
weekend.
was
Like
doing all of
Buddy
that when he was
lost.
bigger though. That's the scary
Yeah,
part.
now he's smaller and dumb.
And
It's scary. And the scarier part is it's so many different ways they can go with this entire bloodline storyline. Because of course we're eventually gonna get the Usos back together with
yeah,
Roman
yeah.
versus Jacob, not Jacob versus Solo. I don't know who's gonna be the fourth on the other side because I
People keep
feel
saying
like
Sami Zayn, and I hope not.
I think it's Hikal. I think what happens is I think Hikuleo does come in. I think he comes in on the other side with Solo and them, and that's where the whole thing with Jacob being a spy and going with the because he's first. This is family. This
So
ain't
where?
like
Okay, so where does The Rock fit in this?
I don't think The Rock does because we don't technically get The Rock back until if I remember he said like near the end of the year, like December,
I don't know, man. I
going
think this
which
might
will
be.
probably be going into like January, going into Rumble season. Because
I can
Rock is
see
shooting
Rock
a
coming
movie.
back during SummerSlam. I thought
No,
was finished shooting it.
remember he's hurt. He's hurt, and
Oh,
then
he hurt his elbow or some shit, right?
yeah, he's hurt, and then he. It's not that movie. It was another movie he was doing, like near the end of the year. He said well he won't be done filming that until like November-ish. So
No,
that
man.
goes into
I think we
Survivor
might get a few
Series.
pop ups, man. I don't know.
You might, but that might go into like Survivor Series
Oh, the Survivor Series matchup is absolutely gonna be bloodline
for
bloodline.
War Games. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that is what that's already booked. Barring injury to several people, War Games is bloodline
the
regardless.
men's War Game is booked. The women's one, we never know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think it's gonna be something with damage control again. I I I, I think, but just on the Raw side this time instead of SmackDown. Um, but yeah, that men's one is locked up. I think
Yeah,
WWE is cooking right now. Like I
it's
think
bloodline.
wrestling in general is cooking right now. I think
Yeah,
New Japan is trying to figure out a few things. I follow New Japan just like I know Sierra does. New Japan's still trying to figure out a few things. Just because they lost so much to AEW. Like AEW grabbed like all of their top guys in a sense. I love Naito beating Moxley to bring that title back over there. Um,
I'm just now
because
getting into like other promotions. Like it took forever for me to get back into WWE 2 years ago, and I've been back and I've been around, and I'm well versed in everything going on now. Now I'm getting into AEW more and reading up and learning about New Japan and other promotions. So
yeah, and the good thing about AEW is if you got the guys from WWE if you've been watching, but then
mm,
you got those guys from New Japan and from the Indies that have been killing it that are now getting it like the Kenny Omegas, the Hangmans, the Bucks, which everybody know the Bucks, but like I think it's a great I always say this is a great time to be a wrestler or a wrestling fan because if you're doing your job, there's so many options. I'm even loving NXT right now. That shit last night with Joe Hendry, because I follow TNA. I'm a huge Joe Hendry fan, I believe. It was amazing. Like that shit was fire. Trick is making me a fan. I was not a fan of Trick Williams. I won't. I just won't. I'm becoming a fan now. I like the work he's doing. I love Ethan Page, so him being NXT champ is crazy.
I
Um,
just like Trick because I feel like if I was a wrestler, I would be like Trick Williams. So a former football player, and all that other shit. So.
No, I get that. I get that. I like Javon, man. Little Javon is like he holding it down for the little skinny niggas, dog. Like Javon, and he young, so like he talked that young lingo, that North Carolina like bravado. Like I love it. I like I said, I think wrestling is in a great space right now if you're a fan. Um, as far as
I
like
agree.
just having something to watch every night in a sense. Like Monday you got Raw, Tuesday you got NXT, AEW was on the night. I missed it. I'm gonna try to catch that rerun around 12. Um,
Yeah. So Sierra, you a wrestling fan? Battle rap is like verbal wrestling.
it is. I like to call it aggressive poetry.
Yeah.
Um,
Facts.
it's aggressive poetry. Sloan, you're was good, big dog. Um, yeah, aggressive poetry. That's what I like to call it. Aggressive poetry in motion. Um, see how you merge the two together.
Hey
And a lot
man.
of these niggas are wrestling fans, so you're gonna get wrestling bars that you would be able to catch because you're a wrestling fan. That's the beauty. That's what I like. Is like when people who aren't battle rap fans, but they're fans of other stuff like anime, wrestling, etc. And battle rappers who are fans of this stuff figure out how to use this scheme, use it in their schemes and stuff,
Oh
and
wait,
you're able to
wait,
catch it.
wait
We
till
go,
you
yeah,
till you hear this. Wait till I would love to do it right now, but for obvious reasons I can't.
yeah.
But
We don't need y'all screen recording
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
killing my
But
main round. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. See, like it's dope. I wish I had known like you before like before pandemic when I was really outside going to events. I definitely would have just scooped you and threw you in the car and came to events. It's crazy because most of SBA events were up your way because she's like northern Virginia,
oh
not
yeah,
really DC, like up that northern way. So like
yeah,
I definitely would have been scooping you going to events, man. It's fun. It really is fun. When you there, it's fun as hell. Like it's
yeah,
safe. Like you still got security because of like the buildings we use and stuff. Like
yeah.
they
I mean, we're
make you
using
use security, but we
yeah,
don't ever need them niggas because like everybody, we police ourselves, and if shit do get
yeah.
crazy, like we make sure
Even
it
when
don't
shit
never
get
go
crazy,
there.
we still police ourselves. But no,
Yeah,
we
we
good,
make
we good, we
sure
good, we
like
good.
shit don't go nowhere. So like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just aggressive poetry.
Which is rare. It is rare, and for
Yeah, because
anybody,
everybody's friends, bro. That's the crazy part
yes.
about battle rap is that everybody is friends.
That's why I say it's like
I
boxing.
mean,
We gonna get
oh
up
well,
here
Sierra
and
knows what it is, so there we go.
I mean I didn't I'm sure I believe she had an idea, but like people believe that because of the content of most people's material that oh it's about to fight they about to fight and tear this
Them
whole
niggas
no
be
we
friends,
good
bro.
we
They be good
good
friends. They just hate
we
each
gonna
other until they battle, like
yeah
normal, like boxing. Like, but
that's
these
what I'm
niggas be
saying.
friends. They be at the bar right after, and it be funny as hell.
Shit, I buy most of my opponents a drink after the battle. Hey, bro, what you drinking? Bet, all right, let's get it. Like,
So,
you know what I mean?
what else in basketball? Oh, hey man, Kimba Walker retired, man.
Yes.
That was
Which
crazy.
is
I mean, it was
is I understand. Like, I'm getting older, but like the true sign of me getting older is like seeing guys that I remember being great college athletes now retiring as professionals after having full careers.
yeah.
I'm like, bro, like.
It's another thing that happened. That I'm still. We talked about it last week, and I'm still like, JJ being my head coach. I still don't know how I feel about this shit, man. I like the staff he putting around him. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, I knew he was gonna build a strong staff. I
He
knew that.
has to because he's not an experienced
Yeah,
coach at all. Like
because I
I saw
think
that clip. I also saw the clip that Jared Dudley said about coaching, and he was like, "Shit, I'm trying to be a head coach next year myself." He said, "Shit, JJ did it." I was like, you're not white.
yeah,
You're not. You look it. You almost there, but you still look like one of us. Uh,
it's all the
it's
like JJ Redick knows like the X's and O's of basketball. Obviously, he has a whole podcast with LeBron where he's proven that. Which Tibbs, you
I
want to say
think that
about that?
helped. I
Yeah,
think
yeah. I'm
that
about to say
I
so.
mean that
Yeah,
helped, and then LeBron and
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
LeBron James is the de facto GM of any team he plays on. I don't care what he says publicly. We
easily,
all know the truth.
easily.
Can we please stop playing this game with LeBron James? Like, we get it. But I think it's all the other things that go into being a coach, especially a professional coach. Where it's like, okay, you got to build a strong staff as far as
Yeah,
practice schedules and splitting responsibilities amongst your staff and all of that. Like it's bigger than just X's and O's. We consider it's plenty of people that know X's and O's and can talk sports all day long, but when you talk about being a coach and having to teach it and stuff like that, that's when you add that extra layer to it where a lot of people can't do it.
that first move he's made, drafting Connect was amazing. Stealing the fucking draft first off at
Yeah,
17.
yeah.
I was so shocked that he slid to us at 17. I was like, hold on,
Yeah, that was a hell of a
he's still
pickup.
there. I was
That
like,
was a
he's
hell of
still
a pickup.
there. I was like, that he was the steal of the draft. And then in the second round, nah, man, I ain't gonna talk about it. And I still don't. I get it. I totally get it. It's LeBron's son is there. Just do the shit. Like we get to make history. That's what it is. That's literally is from a business financial standpoint, not a
100%.
basketball in a sense. Like we get to make history. Then the nigga goes and gets 4.4 million, which won't ain't nothing crazy. But in the second round at pick
It
55,
is when you give
nobody's
the
ever
55th overall pick a fully guaranteed 4-year contract is that
Nobody's there's not when I seen that stat of like 55th picks in the second round, and not
man,
one of them has gotten over a million. I
man
think the
listen.
most was like 750.
And
Wake
then
up, Reese.
for Bronny to get for what up, dudes? For Bronny to get in
Hey, I'm sleepy too. Don't worry about it.
on
Long day.
his introductory press conference and be like, "Oh yeah, it was never a thought to play with my dad." Like, bro, what?
Bro,
Who
y'all,
you
do you
who you
not?
lying to?
I believe all of them reports that Rich told them teams, man, don't draft. They pulled Archie Manning. That's all they did. They did
Bronny
what Archie
James,
did with Eli. He ain't gonna play for y'all. He ain't gonna play.
Bronny
Don't
James,
you draft him. Don't you draft him.
Bronny James was a reserve, not even a sixth man. He was a backup guard, average
4.4 points a
4.4
game.
points per game on a
The
bad
there was a
USC team.
there was a nigga on
They
his team that didn't get drafted that averaged way more than he did.
two,
He averaged like
two
16.
of them.
Hell, old boy from North Carolina State, big boy.
I forget his. I know you're talking about number 30. I forget his name though. Big, yeah.
Forgot big nigga. He ain't get
But
drafted.
but
But Bronny
you mean
did.
to tell me
But again,
all of
I
these
get it from
dudes?
the business standpoint of making history. The Lakers, once again, as we always do, make history. Drafting Bronny, putting Bronny and Bron, first father son duo to ever be able to actually play together. First father son duo to play together in any sport since Ken Griffey and his dad.
Mhm.
So I get it. I told from that standpoint, I understand it. I get it. It's great marketing. It's tickets. It's money. I love it from that point. From the basketball side of it, it was a stupid move because well, then again, maybe not because it wouldn't have mattered who he drafted at number 55 in the second
Yeah,
round.
if y'all
They
had picked him at
were they
17,
gonna play?
come on, man. Come on, man.
So like I get, maybe I'm not as out. Now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe I'm not as outraged as I thought I was. Maybe it's not a big
Because
deal like I thought it
first of
was.
all, we all foresaw it coming. Everybody saw. The minute that Bronny James said, "I'm staying in the draft," when everybody knew he had a,
Hey, bro, if
everybody
he would have
knew,
took Kawhi's spot, I would have left
man,
this fucking country, dog. Go Canada.
man,
Go
listen,
Team Canada, dog. I swear to God, that would have been my response. Go Team Canada, because you stupid mother. First off,
is
even Derek White getting a position over Jalen Brown was
crazy,
crazy to me.
crazy.
Like
But
Jalen
it,
said, Nike had something to do with that. Clearly,
I
I
mean,
think Nike now. Oh, don't forget who runs Team USA. Also, it's Nike.
hey, brother,
It's Nike.
listen, I am no longer affiliated with the swoosh, but they the mob, so I ain't messing with Nike.
They definitely are the Bob, man. I'm trying to be affiliated with them niggas. Shit.
but yeah, man, is there anybody who thought for a second that once Bronny said, "I'm staying in the draft," after everybody
Oh
who you
yeah.
could ask said, "Oh yeah, he's a
Bronny's
second
going back
round
to
pick."
college. Like I didn't think he was going back to USC. I was like, all right, he going. What's a good fit for him? Is it going to Ohio State, playing at home real quick?
The
Playing.
only
I mean, technically he ain't. Well, yeah, he is from Cleveland.
so this
Um.
is what I said. This is what I said on my podcast. It's that Bronny is the only person who can do that. because as you and I know, the college game is different than the NBA game, right?
Way different.
College can develop your skill set, but at the end of the day, the game of basketball in the NBA is different than it is in college. It just is what it is. Nobody else whose name is not Bronny or Bryce James can do what Bronny just did
Hmm.
because you're going to the draft and you won't get drafted. But Bronny leveraging his relationships as we all have done at one time or another to get drafted. He gets drafted and now he can be developed for the NBA game by an NBA team.
Yep.
Nobody else with Bronny's stat line can stay in the draft and get drafted by an NBA team.
So also we don't know his full health thing, right? Like, because he did
Yes.
have the heart issue. I was
Uh-huh.
thinking of it on the other side of this could just be like, I know I ain't got too long to play at least. Like
Mhm.
that heart issue might be it could be a thing, right? But because even
Yeah.
at USC, he didn't play. He still, even when he started playing, didn't play a lot. Even going into the end of the season, like
Yeah.
he was still quite restricted on minutes. And they already said he's going to play significant time in the G League this season.
Of course he is.
That's yeah, that's already
Of
came
course he
out
is.
and said. I'm pretty sure Connect might also, but I think Connect is definitely going to be
I think
main. He's going to be on the roster. Like,
it depends on their overall construction, but I think he'll spend far more time on the Lakers roster than
yeah,
I think
I
if
think
MG
him and
gets in.
Austin Reeves is going to be something special together. JJ gonna love that. Both on and
That'd
Connect shoots better
that'd be
than
hilarious for
Reeves.
JJ Redick to
Reeves
have
is
a
the
special
slat.
bond with Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect.
Well, the good thing about Dalton Connect, he's a shooter. He's the
Yeah.
shooter you've been looking for. And Austin can shoot it too, but Austin's a driver. He's a slasher. So it works. I don't know. I think this might be also where it's like he's gonna do 2 or 3 in the NBA. Like this might be just his time, like playing with the Lakers, and then he retires or something like that because of the health stuff. Like, but this was like just saying, like, hey, I played in the league. I played with my dad before I couldn't anymore, or something like that. So I've thought about that too, because they don't talk about his health stuff. It literally was just like he's good, he's cleared, he's playing. They left it alone. So I'm waiting for Bryce. I'm waiting for Bryce, for
I mean,
Kyan. Kyan is I've watched Kyan up close when he was like maybe 14. I think he was like 14, 15, because he's what, 16, 17 now?
he's
Yeah,
17.
yeah, because he's going into his senior year this year. I watched Kyan when they played in the some of the AAU tournaments down here, man. Like Kyan's something special, yo.
Oh no, Shawty can boogie.
Definitely. And I love Bryce. I think Bryce is Braun. Bryce is
Yeah,
Braun for
Bryce.
sure.
Once
Him, the
I
Boozer
think
twins,
I think when you looked at Bryce, like once Bryce hit puberty basically and started kind of growing into his body, you could look, but oh, Bronny cool. I think Bryce got it though. I think Bryce is the one
yeah,
from his explosiveness, his build.
for
Like
sure.
Bryce even he looks more like LeBron than Bronny does. Like man,
Gilbert Arenas' son too. I've watched a lot of his clips. He's nice. Who else? There's a couple other player kids that's
man,
pretty fire.
a lot of them,
And
a
it's so
lot of
crazy
things.
that we are now talking about a lot of these players' kids. Like that, we're at that age now where we're talking about a lot of these players like
I mean,
seeds. And it's like these
it's weird for me, Kenyon Martin Jr. and Gary Payton Jr. I'm like,
yeah. Even in the
mm,
NFL, when you think about it, I looked at it
yeah,
like looking at Notre Dame getting shit, who was it? Those three NFL sons that committed.
oh, wait, Notre Dame.
It was at Notre Dame. It was do I got the graphic on my phone still? I might.
Um,
Let me see. While I'm looking at um other than that, one other USA basketball. I ain't got too much to say about that. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna barring some the Boozer twins, them Them young boys is cold. I'm looking forward to college basketball this year too. Duke
And,
geared up. Duke geared the
yeah,
fuck up,
you
boy.
know
That
where I'm
that
at with it.
class
I'm
is
not.
crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough year for me. College basketball.
Is it? Yeah, that's what it was. Plexico, the bus, and Ike Taylor's kids. Thank you, Sloan.
Oh
I
yeah,
smoke too much. I be losing.
I didn't
Um,
know they was. I knew about them. I didn't know they were all at Notre Dame though.
yeah, all of them committed to Notre Dame. Kentucky is gonna go through that weird thing this year.
Yeah,
Because of y'all losing, your coach. Then you lose them to a rival
conference
like that.
rival. Yeah,
Yeah, like to Arkansas,
yeah,
which is crazy. Then you got recruits decommitting, as which normally happens when a coach leaves, because a lot
yeah.
of people come for the coach, they don't come for the school. Even
Especially in
though,
basketball.
yeah,
Especially in
and
basketball.
football is kind of the same too, though, because we saw the same thing with Caleb when he left Oklahoma to
Yeah, but
follow.
Kentucky is different because a lot of players went to Kentucky to play for Coach Kyle because at one point in time that was viewed as a direct path to the NBA.
Mhm.
So
The one
it
and
wasn't
done's
even
was
really about winning in college or developing the player. It was like, oh,
nah.
this is a
You
direct path
knew
to the NBA.
you go to Kentucky, you average X amount every game,
Yeah,
league.
and to be fair, like Cal has had a lot of kids declare for the draft, but in totality, very few of them actually were like high first round picks and panned out. Of course, you have Anthony Davis, Cat, Devin
Yeah,
Booker. Of course, you have those guys, but you also have your Willie Cauley Steins and Dakari Johnson and Isaiah Briscoe and all these other guys that
yeah. People don't talk about. Hey, dog.
right
Speaking
like.
of Isaiah Briscoe, boy, him and Jeff Teague
Oh yeah,
going at
I
it.
heard about that. I heard
You
about
got to
that.
watch it. The clips on that joint is crazy, dog. And
Yeah,
then Jeff Teague was talking reckless on his podcast. It was beautiful. I
yeah.
loved it.
I
But
seen the
yeah,
clip on TikTok of Jeff Teague talking on the podcast.
like a lot of Kentucky guards. I mean, outside of what Devin Booker,
I mean, from Cal's tenure, you talking about John Wall, Devin Booker,
yeah,
Shy, whatever, Shea
yeah,
Gildas
Shy.
Alexander. Um, I mean, are we gonna give him Malik Monk?
I want to say yes, but I want to say no.
So like, you got like several. You got it's tiers, right? So you got like,
Yeah, he's better at developing the one and does to get ready to go to the league than he was at. He got the one championship, the
mhm,
Final Four's appearances, of course.
mhm.
But it's like, do you look at his time in Kentucky as a Kentucky alum, right? Do
uh,
you look at Cal's time there as successful, or was it middle of the road?
So it depends on your metric of success, and I think that's what ultimately led to him, leaving, is because if your metric of success is having your players go to the NBA, then I don't think you have a choice but to deem it as a success. Again, you have your Anthony Davises and Devin Bookers and John Walls, DeMarcus Cousins, and so forth and so on. So I think from that point, you have to determine a success if that's your metric of success. But if your metric of success for a lot of people is winning games as the Kentucky Wildcats and winning this is a school with 8 championships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? John Calipari had one there. He didn't necessarily fill the trophy case out. You know what I mean? They
Right.
don't have a bunch of SEC championships. They don't have a bunch of,
Mm-mm.
like they don't have all of that. And I think ultimately for a lot of people, they were looking at it and it's like, okay, what Cal does is great as far as getting players to the NBA, and it looks great on us. We get a bunch of NBA players coming back every year and all this. That's great. But at
Makes the
some point,
alumni look amazing. That's
it
what it
looks it
makes it
looks
look.
great. But after a while, it's like, okay, you putting out 4 NBA players a year and you getting routinely put out in the first, second round of the tournament. Like we still want to win games too. And I think ultimately for him, I think a lot of people after a while of like, okay, we got the NBA players, that's great, but we're not winning enough. And I think that's what did it for a lot of people is that they were frustrated with the lack of winning, especially getting put out early. Like I can tolerate going to the tournament every year and getting put out in the Elite Eight or the Final Four. I can live with that. But when you're getting put out by Florida Gulf Coast and you losing to Robert Morris in the first round of the NIT and stuff
And that
like
was a
that,
lot of that was the same thing with Duke for a while that I
right?
think led to Coach K just being like, all right, it might be time because it was the same thing. First round put out, second round to like no names.
Yeah,
To the darlings of the tournament in a sense. But like
right.
it's the same thing. Like when you when you having a great season, a dominant season, and then you lose in the first round to who the fuck why?
I mean,
And
Cal.
Arkansas, who knows that Arkansas won't be the same? Like people think going to
I'm sure
Arkansas is
will.
something.
I'm sure will.
He's gonna same thing in Kentucky. He's gonna get the recruits because it's Cal,
Absolutely.
but
It
it's
is
not
based.
gonna pan out to being the same.
Yeah, it's based on your metric of success,
He's the
and
king of one and dones. We'll
absolutely.
just give it to. We have to give it to him for what it is. Like
But you look at a
he is
team
the
like
king of one and dones.
Kentucky's first year at Kentucky, he had John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Terrence Jones. Who I'm missing one other
I
NBA
believe
player.
Willie Cauley Stein was there the
No, he
first year,
wasn't.
right?
He wasn't. No, he wasn't on that team. Willie came 2 years. He was a few
Let
years
me
down the road.
see.
But you had several NBA players on that team, and you got eliminated by a West Virginia team whose best player was Joe Mazzulla. Like
Let's see.
repeatedly,
That was the 2009, 2010 team.
I believe so. Yeah.
All right, yeah, here we go.
So it was John Wall, Boogie.
Darius Miller. You had Darnell Dodson, John Hood, Ramon Harris, John Wall, Mark Krebs, DeMarcus Cousins,
uh,
Perry Stevenson, Eric Bledsoe,
Bledsoe. That's who it
Daniel
was. Bledsoe.
Daniel Orton, DeAndre Liggins, Patrick Patterson, Josh Harrelson. That was pretty tough, pretty
Six
fire
or
team
seven of
though.
those dudes were NBA players.
Yeah, DeAndre Liggins was Patrick Patterson.
John, Boogie, Bledsoe,
Daniel Orton did make it to the league. Eric
by
Bledsoe,
the Magic. Yeah, they drafted him.
DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall. I know John Hood did. I don't remember
No,
if
no, no.
Ramon
John Hood didn't go. John Hood didn't make it to the league.
he didn't? No,
Mm-mm.
that was a different Hood that played for Duke. That's
Yeah,
what I was thinking of.
yeah. John Hood didn't make it to the league.
I don't think Darnell Dawson did.
I
Darius
don't.
Miller did because he played for New Orleans.
Yeah, Darius Miller, but Darius Miller stayed his full 4 years though, and he went to
So
New Orleans, I think.
yeah, it was New
But
Orleans.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. You have a team. That team had 6 or 7 NBA players on it, and they got eliminated in the Sweet 16. I want to say maybe Elite Eight by a team who, again, their best player was Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah.
They got the team. I don't even remember the name of the team, but the team that they got eliminated by in the first round this year had 0 NBA prospects on it. The kid that ended up getting the I forget his name now, but the white boy that was knocking down all the shots, he ended up signing with, I want to say, the Pelicans. I want to say the Pelicans. He ended up signing with them based off of what he did versus Kentucky. Like they made him an NBA player. Hell, I'll give Cal credit for that one too. Shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So I just think for most people, after a while, the metric of success for most people is winning games. I just think ultimately Cal didn't do enough of that at Kentucky. Kentucky wants to win championships. He didn't do enough of that.
You know, it was a fire player he had, and it's gonna be crazy when I say this. I want to see if you agree. Fucking Kyle Wilshire.
Yes, yes.
Kyle
Cal
Wilshire
Wilcher
was a
transferred. He transferred to
knockdown.
Gonzaga. Them first 2 years, I think he was there for 2 years before he transferred to Gonzaga. And I thought Cal Wilcher was like, he was the next, Kyle Korver in the NBA. Like I thought he
Right.
was that. And matter of fact, I, I met Cal Wilcher several times. We didn't live that far from each other because we went to school at the same time. We didn't live that far from each other. I used to see him and his girlfriend all the time. At Buffalo Wild Wings and stuff. Cool dude. But and he got drafted by the Rockets and never really made it past the G League.
Nope.
Um, but yeah, I thought Kyle Wilcher was like next up. And then we had like, Archie Goodwin, who I thought was going to be a good player and didn't pan out.
Sky.
Uh,
This 15-16 team was pretty lit too. Marcus Lee, Skylar
mhm.
Bissiere, Tyler
Yes.
Eulis,
That was that.
Charles Matthews, Johnny David, Michael Mulder, Isaiah Briscoe, Isaac Humphries, Alex Poitras, Jamal Murray, EJ Florio, Dominique Hawkins, Dylan Pulliam. That was a pretty lit team too. I'm just looking like through different years of the
Yeah,
roster.
like I remember that team too. Like you couldn't tell me like Alex Poitras wasn't going to be a NBA small forward. You couldn't have
Man,
told me
it's
like,
crazy.
man.
You get to that eight. I'm looking at like the 18-19 roster, and that's like, who the fuck is these things? You got Quade Green, Ashton Higgins,
Mm.
Keldon Johnson, who's in the league now, Nick Richards, Emmanuel Quickly, who's in the league,
Was Terrence Clark
Johnny
on that team?
David. Hmm.
Was that the team Terrence Clark was on?
Hold on, let me see. Brad Calipari.
Yeah,
I don't
didn't
even know what
play.
the fuck he's doing now.
Probably
Tyler
Russell.
Hero, Zane Payne,
I keep
Reed
forgetting Tyler Harrell
Travis,
from Kentucky.
AJ. Yep, EJ Montgomery, PJ Washington. Nah, he went on there. It's crazy because Tyler Hero is from Kentucky too, so it's like hometown. And then if I skip up even more, pretty much current. Let me see, Jacob Tobin, CJ Frederick. Like once you get to like the newer years, it's really like who the fuck are these niggas? 'Cause most of
Yeah,
these,
because they were dudes that were good recruits, but didn't really pan out. You
nah,
know,
none
in the
of the like.
NBA.
I'm looking at all these names, even from like, and now this is the 21-22 roster. Only person in the league I think is Jacob Tobin.
Is
As
Jacob?
I'm
I
looking,
know Obi is Jacob, but no, Jacob transferred though, right?
no, Jacob is so they traded brothers. So
Oh,
Obi
okay.
plays for Indiana and Jacob, I believe, is still signed with New York. Tata Washington is in the league. I forgot who he plays for. Um yeah, everybody else is like, I don't think none of these niggas is even in the league for real. Nope. And if they are, it's like they're probably either on the G League or something like that. Like I think that also plays a part in him leaving because, like I said, I'm skipping like 3-4 years every time I'm looking at a roster. But it's like you start get to the point that it's like he was putting multiple players in the league at one point. Like at one point, it was the whole starting five and maybe two or three on the bench were in the league and on teams and were contributing to
Hmm.
like where some of these guys, it really is like I'm at
It
24,
got to
25 now.
it got to
And
a point
I
where
couldn't tell you who none of these niggas is.
yeah, it got to a point where guys were coming to Kentucky, being one and done or two and done, and leaving and getting decent NBA looks simply because they play for Kentucky.
Yep.
And now Cal does have a lot to do with that. But like I said, at the end of the day, like you putting out all these players with NBA prospects, you just aren't winning games, bro. It's just
Yeah, that's and now it's like you're not even putting out NBA prospects anymore. So it's gonna be like I said, I think everything I'm looking at across all sports coming up this season, like football is gonna be amazing, college and NFL, basketball, college, women's, especially women's is gonna
oh
go
yeah, the women's game going crazy
crazy.
next year.
USC gearing up. I like what UConn did. Uh Paige Bockers is about to have a crazy season. I want to
Yeah.
see how LSU bounce back after losing Angel. I want to see how South Carolina bounce back after losing Cardoza. um, it's a couple other schools. Also, LSU lost Haley Van Lift to TCU. I want to see how
Yeah,
that
I'm not really
look.
tripping over that though.
Nah, not for the real. Because I mean, Haley didn't pan out well like they thought. Like I think
Mm.
she should have stayed at Louisville.
Uh,
Um,
Louisville,
on
you gotta
paper,
say
it
it with some
looked
jaw.
great.
Louisville.
Louisville, my bad, yeah, Louisville. I think on paper it looked amazing when she went to LSU, but
Yeah.
as we saw during the season, she just wanted to fit. It was just one of them like everybody just wanted to join the bandwagon type shit, and Haley was just
Wasn't it?
part of that.
And
So
that happens. You know what
yeah,
I'm
it
saying?
definitely do. You got a couple freshmen coming in. Some freshmen from last year are now sophomores. I want to see how they do. I think Arizona's going to be one of them teams to watch out for.
I want to see how
Um,
Flau'jae Johnson do without
without Angel.
the Angel. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see how LSU looks in general, but I think they'll be fine. Um,
I think the team will be fine.
I think South to me is more South Carolina losing Cardoza. Cardoza was a huge part of their offense and defense, being a 6'9" center. Like you
I
can't
mean,
teach height. And like in women's basketball, me and Jermaine talk about this all the time. Having a big like that, and she really ain't panning out too well in the WNBA, which is crazy.
well, I mean, she been playing hurt too though.
Yeah, and I think once she's fully healthy, it's gonna look better. She has to work on her footwork. That's her biggest thing is like finding her place and realizing she's a big and she's not really a shooter. Like Angel can step back and shoot a little bit, but she plays better down low.
Yeah.
Um, I think once Cardoza figures out like I don't even think it's registered to her that she's bigger than everybody. Like, just to me, it's always just put your hands up, throw that down, and then just do your thing in the post. Um, but yeah, once she figures out her footwork, that her jab step and how to get get to the bucket when she steps away, she gonna be Chicago gonna have some crazy or
Yeah.
whoever if even if she don't stay with Chicago, whoever gets her and it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I,
Um,
I think that because like I hope this is not necessarily the case, but I feel like due to an influx of people like Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers and Juju at USC, like I feel like a lot of I feel like the the women's game is
it's
going to
growing.
transition more to a lot of shooters
Yeah,
and be very, really, very, very guard heavy. And I understand, obviously with them being women, most of them are just smaller players anyway.
yeah, of
You know
course.
what I mean? So naturally, just size
I'm
wise, it's already guard heavy. But I
I'm
feel like
also hoping as they did this season and well not this season, going into next season, they added two teams in Golden State and Toronto. I'm praying soon because you see a lot of these girls are getting cut. Like top draft picks are not making rosters, and it's
man,
crazy. But it's only 12 teams in the league, and that's why. Like it's
yeah,
an unfortunate thing, but now there's 14 teams because they've added
which
two more.
which
I
is
want them
weird,
to get to a point that every NBA team has a G League team and has because not every NBA team has a G League team either.
right?
Um, I hope they get to a point and it financially makes sense for them to do it because everything is about the money.
Well, they
Is
they
that
used to. So like when the G League was still the NBDL,
yeah, there
like
was everybody did have a team.
even it was less teams. It was like maybe 12, 13 teams, but every NBDL team at the time had multiple teams they were affiliates for.
Yeah,
So the majority of your rosters were players that were sent there from, you know, the
different
NBA
teams.
team. Now the G League is essentially its own league for real, for real.
Yeah, but I mean, it's his only while it's part of the NBA. I just feel
Yeah,
like every NBA team should have a G League team and a WNBA team for that city because
I agree.
most of the owners are the owners from from the NBA anyway.
I agree.
Outside of the Vegas team, which is owned by Al Davis, well, not Al Davis, his son, um, which they're pretty much going to have an NBA team soon. I believe Vegas and Seattle are pretty much the next two places.
They should be.
They're trying to put a team back in Seattle and Vegas. That's the last piece for Vegas is a basketball team. Like
I think Vegas and Seattle
Oakland,
get teams, and then they'll move
I think
New
Oakland going
Orleans and
into,
Memphis back to the Eastern Conference.
and that's what me and Jermaine were saying. I don't know if you be watching, but we definitely that's one thing I said. If you add in Seattle and Vegas, Memphis and New Orleans are the two teams that go out east, which
Yeah.
makes the East very scary because Memphis in the East, I looked at I was looking at like certain teams' records, like New Orleans last season, where they finished in the West. If they had that same record in the East, they'd be a top five
Oh
team.
yeah.
I think it was top
Yeah.
four, something
Uh-huh.
like that. And then you add in a Memphis team healthy with Marcus Smart, John Morant back healthy with Jaren Jackson, and I'm like, yeah, that's another top team in the East. So
Well,
um,
I don't know if you remember a few years ago, the NBA was kind of toying with the idea of seeding, like the playoff seeding be rather than each team getting each conference getting 8 teams. We're just going to the
just
top
going by
16
like,
teams in the league
so
go.
I actually do that on my franchise doing on 2K.
Yeah,
I changed the rules, but I did it like that, and it's actually better. The playoff matchups is better.
yeah,
I think I ended up the first season with two Western Conference teams in the finals, but it was still like
yeah. But
for
I
me,
think
I think it looked dope, but I get it from the standpoint of having that East West still. So
nah, I think what scared them off was really the year that they were talking about doing it. I don't remember. It was like a few years ago, maybe like right before, or right after COVID, and somebody put out a projection, and like had they done it that particular year,
Mhm.
there would have been like 4 Eastern Conference teams in the playoffs. Like 3 or 4 Eastern Conference teams. Like, bro, we can't have the whole Western Conference
And
in,
even
in the
even
playoffs.
now it's tough because like the West is strong, but the East is
Yeah.
to me is just as strong. Like that's why I said I like the parity of going across sports right now because I can't tell you who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Like I feel
Right.
like the NFL is like very even.
Right.
I even going in the next basketball season, I I don't think Boston repeats going to the finals. Like
No.
it's the East is stronger. The West is like with Clay moving to the Mavs. I still personally think that's major. Um, with the Kings picking up DeMar DeRozan, like it's certain moves that were made that's just like I like everybody's stepping up. Everybody's trying to figure something out. I think once we figure out that Jordan Clarkson, Laurie Markkinen move with Utah, because they're pretty much cleaning the house and starting over in a sense. That's going to be interesting to see who gets them, whether they stay out west or go out east. I think the Lakers are making a push at Clarkson too. Everybody is making a push at Markkinen. Philly is going crazy at him.
I just saw somebody,
Um,
I forget who the team was, saw somebody say something about offering like 3 first-round picks for Laurie
that
Markkinen.
was
I'm like,
Philly.
God damn.
Philly was, but I think Philly. So I look at Philly like the Knicks, right? Because when the Knicks gave up what they gave up for marketing, I mean for Mikal Bridges, I seen some people were like that was too much, da da da. But when you're a team that really don't care about the draft because you are working through free agency, you can give up the first. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna sign the free agents anyway, so you having those draft picks means nothing. Like those people will
But
get
see,
they'll get drafted and not have a place on your team anyway. So
well, my bad, go ahead.
I was saying like somebody like the Knicks giving up those picks for Mikal Bridges, they understood like we're not gonna use these shits. Like I mean we used them, we accumulated them and used them for what we needed. A key player. Same thing that Philly is looking at like, all right, we got him. So let's go use them and get somebody. Let's shop them to a team like a Utah that could use those first round picks to rebuild their franchise.
See, I think that is what for a long time killed parity in the NBA because the Western Conference was so strong. And a lot of those teams realized, like, bro, we don't need these draft picks. These dudes
We
not
don't
if we use this pick on the 28th, if we use the 28th pick in the draft, so he's not gonna play here. So we can
because we're
package the
strong.
right, we can package those picks to get a good player from a bad team and we whatever that team does with that pick is what they do with it. But we're adding a good player to an already strong team, and
Look at OKC.
was killing it.
OKC
Was
OKC was
killing parity.
OKC and Houston for the last few years have been like, all right, that's cool. I'm gonna give you him. Let me get them picks, especially for Harden. Yeah, y'all can have him. Let me get all them picks. OKC was the same way. Oh, y'all can have Chris Paul. Let me get these picks. Y'all can have da da da. Let me get these picks. You know what I mean? Like, and the picks have panned out to being lucrative for them in a sense. Look at OKC. It turned around and they're top in the West now. So I think like sports in general is just gonna be fun coming up. Are you getting NCAA football next week?
What kind of question is that?
I mean, we all getting it. I don't even know why I
What
even asked like that.
I've been taking recruiting visits, and I've narrowed I've narrowed down my final 5 schools.
Oh, as far as
Uh,
like your so I'm the same way when I do the like the coaching joint. I I'm weird, so I don't like to start at a top school. So I
no,
still got the
wait, no,
last
no,
name.
no, no. There's no. The weird people are the ones who start at top schools.
I never.
Those are
Let
the
me tell you something,
weirdos.
bro. On the last joint, where did I start? I started at Syracuse. I think I started at Syracuse, and I stayed at Syracuse for like 4 or 5 years. Built Syracuse up to being a powerhouse.
Man,
Left Syracuse, went to Miami, stayed there for like 5 or 6, built them back up, went to USC, and I forgot where I'm at now. I think my last one, because I started playing it again like maybe a year ago, I was at because this is before the reports came out. I had
right.
found my Xbox and I just hooked it up. I was like, damn, I did have NCAA football. So I just started playing it again. and it was around the time Dion was going to Colorado.
Uh,
So I left the school I was at and went to Colorado. But
man, listen.
and even that joint is still fire to today.
To
Like
That's
it's
the
so
beauty of the
crazy.
NCAA game is because
Even the basketball
the
to
the
me,
rosters they need to bring a basketball game back too. But the
they definitely
rosters
do.
in football, the rosters reset every 2-3 years anyway.
Hmm.
So it's like even like it. But the problem with Madden is after a while, even in franchise mode, is it gets stale because you have the same
Yep.
players for 4, 5, 6, 7 years at a time. It gets boring after a while. The NCAA, no
Every
matter
four,
what you do,
every 4 years.
no matter what you do, this roster is going to turn over. You have to go get new players.
Unless
That's
you're
why.
and the great so the weird part I want to see how they do it with it this year is do they using is the NIL factored into the game in a sense for
From what I've heard,
recruiting?
it is. From what I've heard, it is.
I don't like. I see now. I got to
Nah,
figure out.
I'm,
Now I got to figure
no,
out. Do I put the cheat code in and
no,
turn the money off so that way I can offer,
no, no.
or do I
Anybody
keep
who's
it?
watching this, if you get NCAA football and you do a dynasty mode and you jump straight to Alabama, Clemson, Michigan,
I ain't even gonna say
whatever.
Alabama because it ain't even like they got like a fire coach or something. They recruiting is like horrible now.
Yeah, but I'm just throwing out just top names. If you go to a top school, you are a
You
weirdo.
know
You
the
are part of
one
the
school
problem.
everybody's about to be at. Everybody is
Listen,
about to go to Colorado,
yeah,
except for the people that are like who their team is. They are diehard for that team.
I
I'm a
love Dion,
USC
but
fan.
no.
I'm Southern Cal. Always
So
have been. Like
so this
that's
is what
where
I
I.
do,
But I'm not starting there. I think honestly, I don't know where I want to start this year. I want to start
man.
low like usual. No, you know why I always start at? I start where I went to school. I start at Georgia State every year. That's where I always start at. My
So I
coach
didn't do
always
Georgia
starts
State.
at Georgia State.
So five of the schools, the last five schools that I recall starting at is just to give you an idea of how little of a fuck I give, right?
I know you're gonna start at Ohio State, Sloan. I already knew that.
No, no, no,
He's a
absolutely not.
full Ohio State,
I
like
don't.
he's a
I
Buckeye
went
through and
to
through.
Kentucky. No, sir. I know Kentucky's not Ohio State. Trust me, I understand that. But I started at
I'd start at
Rice
Kentucky.
University, Rice.
Rice isn't
I've
bad.
gone to Air Force,
Ugh,
Kent State,
okay,
New Mexico.
that's not bad.
Who am I? There's one I'm forgetting that was like trash. Um,
I'm gonna start
Utah
at like
State,
I
Utah
might
State.
start. I might start at like Kansas or some shit like that.
Nah, that's too good. That's too high. Too high.
Jermaine said
Too
go
good.
tie. I know Jermaine starting at LSU.
Man, y'all
I
starting
get,
at Ohio? No.
but I get it though. Like when you're fans of those teams, like a lot of people in a dynasty mode are gonna start at those
Okay, so
teams.
do
So
this
like
then, because there are more than enough teams. Do a dynasty. Do
I
do
played at
two
Northern
teams.
Illinois. Okay.
There
Oh
you go.
yeah.
Yes,
Because
yes.
well
I've done them too. Done them
Sloan went
too.
to Northern Illinois also. So like I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
Because even in I think the only thing different is like in NCAA basketball, I'm always starting at Duke. No matter what, I'm starting at Duke. I'm staying at Duke also. I'm never leaving Duke. Unless they fire me or some shit. I'm never leaving Duke. So
Basketball's a little different.
football, I like working my way up. I actually think this year, so like I never thought to start as like a coordinator either. I always start my joint as a head coach. I
Yeah.
might actually start as like a coordinator. I
I
grew up
think I started as a coordinator
there.
like
My cousin was
once or
there.
twice. It's just more fun as a head coach. But and you can
Yeah,
do more as a head coach. But
the
like if for a
recruiting and all that.
basketball game, because I'm a Kentucky fan and I went to Kentucky, like I wouldn't start at Kentucky. Like, cause I mean it's like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
I get joy, and obviously part of it is me being a coach now. So like,
part of it is the recruiting. I always tell everybody the
that's the
most
fun part.
fun, like playing is fun, of course. But when you going into the dynasty mode, the recruiting is the part that's fire to me.
Yeah.
Like
So
being able to like snatch a recruit from an Alabama or that's what
yes.
always was dope for me when I can build a team up and now they're up there with the Alabamas and some of those other top
at,
teams.
at one point you could create a player, you could
Always the
create a
Kent State.
recruit, and you
Okay.
still had to recruit you
Dog,
still had to recruit your
let me
creative
tell you
player.
something. let me tell you the pain of creating a 99 quarterback
And him not coming to your school.
and him being like, "No, I don't want to go there, nigga. What,
Man,
nigga? I
what?
made you literally. You don't even want to come. I can't get,
Yes.
bro. That was
Yes.
pain. Watching
Yes.
him play for somebody else is
Yes.
pain, bro.
Well,
And
I'll
it's not
start this
even.
whole dynasty
But
mode
you
over.
know,
Start playing me.
but you know what I like about this year though, that is different from the other ones, is that you can like, I guess, hopefully you can like somehow get that player away from that school in a sense with the transfer portal. So
Yeah,
like,
UDC about to be a power.
hey man,
um,
I'm gonna take Georgia State into being a Power Five.
I'm a man. Listen, I'm gonna
I'm a
have
I
fun
probably
with it.
will start at Georgia State like I
Now,
always
now
do.
I
So
will. I will say that that's only for dynasty mode. Now, if I'm playing you, I'm gonna pick Kentucky or like you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna pick one of my schools. But for dynasty mode, oh, no, I'm
uh
starting off in the dirt.
if I'm playing niggas, I'm proud. So I think my first go to is gonna be Ohio State because my little cousin is still there running back. Um After that is probably my normal USC in Miami. Those are probably the only three I'm gonna play with as far as like I'm never gonna touch Colorado. That's just me. I mean, when I get the game, I'm gonna play with Colorado to see what it looked like. But like as far as like
Yeah.
playing people, I think it's gonna be USC, Miami, and Ohio State for the most part.
No, I'm gonna be Miami, Kentucky, and probably like Maryland or somebody like that. Just because
And
it's
honestly, my dynasty mode might be Miami, man. I'm tired of Miami being at the bottom, man. It's time to bring the U
I'll
back
work my
here.
way up. I'll work my way up, but I'm not.
Like I need to bring the U back, man.
Watch
It's
what I do.
crazy.
Oh, don't get me started. Watch what I do, man. Just watch what I do. Watch what I do. Name play. Hey, Deuce,
Starting
man.
off in Hawaii. Hawaii, that's not a bad place to start.
Yeah,
That is not.
that's solid.
That's not. I think
If
if I do the road to the dynasty, that's the joint I always like
Road to
too.
Glory.
Yeah, road to glory is always fun too.
Yeah.
Just
But yeah,
depending
if I
on
do
what
Road to
position
Glory,
you
I'm
want to do.
picking like a top team.
A
No,
top
not
school off
yeah.
rip, like especially if I'm a quarterback. Like I think it depends. I'm usually either a quarterback or a wide receiver.
Yeah,
I
always.
think one time I did DN, and
Mm.
that was pretty fun.
Quarterback or receiver every time.
But
Oh,
it's mostly,
I'll probably do two of them. I'll do two of them. I'll do one
or
as a
I think
receiver,
I
one
did
as
a
a
safe.
quarterback.
I think I did either a cornerback or a safety one year,
I
one
did do
time.
safety one year, but it was weird playing from the other side. It was weird.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, there are unwritten rules and etiquette to NCAA football, and if you are unaware of these, you have
it's the
to.
same ones that 2K had for the longest time. Like if you play with Golden State, you a hoe.
Oh yeah,
It was like that for the longest time, bro. Like if you play with Golden State, you was a hoe. I hate you. Like you just a hoe. Like that. Or Miami at one point. Like if you playing with Miami, you a hoe. Like what's wrong with you, dog? Like you know this team is dominant as hell, and it ain't no. I don't care how good I am. It ain't nobody that I'm about to pick up that's gonna outshoot Clay and them. Or you got LeBron and D Wade and Bosh. Like you about to murder me, dog. So and yeah, so it's crazy. It's gonna be fun next week. I think every man, at least 95% of the men in the I'm gonna say 90. I ain't gonna say 95 because there's a lot of niggas that just don't play video games. So, but I'm gonna definitely say a high 90% of men in America, at least America,
yeah.
are gonna be unavailable next week. So,
You can
ladies,
call
if you are
me
listening, and I'm gonna
childish.
tweet this out,
Call me whatever you want to call
you
me.
can call me everything under the sun,
Don't
which you
care.
ain't going. But guess what? You can't do. You can't call me because I'm probably gonna turn my phone off. Uh, you can't call me. That's what you can't do.
Can't
I'm on
call
the
me because I'm
game.
not answering the phone.
I'm on the game next week, starting on what is that, Tuesday? I am on the
Man,
game.
listen.
Hell, we might not even have a pod next week. I'm gonna be
I
honest. Hey,
work from
Jermaine,
home on Wednesdays. If you think I'm doing a damn thing
hey,
next
bro, these kids better get the fuck up out of my face next week. Bro, I'm
listen.
on the game. Daddy is trying to bring this 5-star recruit in. Oda's a new. Hey, dog, that's all I need. Matter of fact, I got an extra microwave in the garage that we have when we moved here because the microwave came with us. I'm hooking that joint up upstairs. My
Oh,
mom
you
got an
locking
extra.
in, locking. You locking
Yeah,
in.
mom's got an extra mini fridge that she ain't even using, still in the box. I'm about to go get that, bring that here, put that upstairs. I'm about to have a whole gaming setup, bro. I ain't going to sleep. I got I ain't even got them out today, but I have a plethora of Goat Fuel energy drinks. Shout out to Goat Fuel, soon to be sponsored. We still working on that. We working out the kinks on that right now. I go and say that out loud. Working out the kinks, but shout out Jerry Rice too. Amazing energy drink. It really is.
Yeah, I still
But
got to try that.
I got a plethora of them. I am on the game. I ain't doing nothing else. I ain't going nowhere. Guess what? It's summer, so I ain't got to take no kids to school. I might sleep for an hour a day. I'm gonna be wired. I ain't got nothing to do. So, like I said, we may not even have a show next week. I might be playing the game on the show. That might be fire. Actually, I might do that. That's gonna be kind of dope. But
But
yeah,
y'all ain't finna talk about nothing next week.
nothing. I don't, it ain't too much. Man, me and Jermaine talk about this every week at the end of the show, which we're coming up to now. Like we hitting that weird part of sports where it ain't nothing but baseball right now.
Hitting, we there.
Yeah, baseball, tennis. For those of us that like NASCAR, like myself and you, NASCAR, um, Olympics. That's the one beauty of this
Mm,
year is that we have the Olympics, so that's
yeah,
gonna carry us through the summer, going into football. So like that. So I ain't even gonna say that. I think that's the beauty is that we get the Olympics. So at least for that period of time, that's gonna carry us into football season. Um, well,
yeah.
more I think it'll carry us right into college.
Shit, I think the Olympics start the week most training camps start.
I believe so. So like that's definitely gonna carry us right into football, which is gonna be great. So we get the luxury of this year not having like we just got a couple weeks of nothing and then we
Mm.
get, something. So it's shorter than
I
it
mean,
normally would
we
be.
almost there. We almost there, y'all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. These next few weeks. I mean, luckily UFC and boxing are keeping us entertained at least on a Saturday.
Yeah,
WNBA has been amazing all season so far. I don't think it's been too many dull games. Personally, I like watching.
I
For
need the
me,
Mystics to stop winning games at this point, please.
you need them to get paid.
Bro, they went like
They
0
got
and 12, and now
but
they want to start winning games.
you
No,
know what's crazy? They wouldn't even pick Paige because they stupid. Like I still don't understand why they ain't pick Angel. Like bro, that from a mark and she's panning out to where it's like, damn, maybe we should have picked her. God
from a
damn, like she
marketing
balling,
standpoint, I have no
she
clue why they didn't
hoping.
pick her. From a
From a
basketball
market,
standpoint, I get it. I understood it at
I'm gonna
that
be
time.
honest. At the time, yeah, because now she's looking like they should have. But from a pure marketing standpoint,
Oh yeah,
she should have a Washington jersey on.
yeah.
Like she should
She's
be
from Baltimore, and the Mystics lost their two most marketable players. Like, there's nobody you can market on that team right now. It's like to a
like,
national audience.
and I mean, you can market Aaliyah Edwards. You could kind of.
Nationally, nationally,
Nah, maybe not. Nah. And honestly, you got with Angel, it's a local and a national because again, like you just
right?
said, she's from Baltimore, so you about to get all her family, whether she getting them tickets or not. All like everybody, people, little girls from this area are gonna go up. I would have took my daughters to hella Mystics games at home just to watch Angel. So like I don't know, but like I said, the WNBA has been like super interesting. So that's been carrying us. Baseball has been dope. They
Shit,
were
the
coming
All
up on
Star
a
game is what next weekend, I think.
yeah. I'm about to say we coming up on the All Star break for them and the WNBA. I believe WNBA All Star break is next week too. I think so. We're coming up on All Star breaks for both. Then going into the Olympics, I believe the week after that. So super dope time. These next 2 weeks probably gonna be a little boring, but that's it. You know
Hey
what I
man,
mean? Like
we are almost there, y'all.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What's NASCAR been looking like? I haven't really lately.
Uh,
I haven't been watching.
I mean, it's really been, it's really been, I think four drivers have three wins apiece. And now it's getting toward the end of the playoffs. So in NASCAR, as in most sports, they have a 16 seeded
Hmm.
playoff bracket, and by winning a race, it essentially guarantees you a slot into the playoffs because most people, a lot of times you have multiple, you have drivers win multiple races, and now it's getting to the point where it's like they have like 13 seeds locked up and still like 5 or 6 weeks to go before the cut line. So it's actually kind of heating up a little bit. It's fun. I'm still trying to work out some stuff to get to Richmond, but
Yeah, I'm still
yeah,
mad
yeah,
about that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still trying to work it out on my end though. But
Them
but
tickets
yeah,
was
no,
in my
it's
hands, man. They were right there. Then the nigga want to go and do stupid shit, man. I had to whoop his ass.
I
We
get
ain't
it,
gonna talk
bro. I
about that.
get it.
We ain't gonna
I
talk
get
about
it.
that on air though.
Yeah, 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 I got it.
Beat that nigga
But
ass though.
yeah,
Beat that
it's heating up though. It's heating up though. And NASCAR just had a race in Chicago, a street race in Chicago this past weekend that was exciting. So you know, um,
Yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. I love watching NASCAR. I tell everybody like going to the races is funny shit. Like you ain't even got to be a fan, but like
yeah,
I guess it's like anything. Like the tailgating is fun as hell, and it's
yeah.
not as racist as people think it is. Like there's
It's not.
there's more of us than y'all think.
I've been
Like
going. I'll be 33 next month. I've been going to NASCAR races for the last 28, 27 years. I've personally never had a problem. Now, as a kid, most people not gonna mess with a little kid. Even as an adult, like I get love, and I go to races
yeah,
dolo, like by myself, looking how I look, talking how I talk, dressing how I dress,
hey man,
and
it is a great fucking time, dog. Like
yeah,
people are inviting, like you walking through the tailgate, they offering you beer, food.
yeah,
It's and these are people you would look at and you would think they would look at us and be like, hell no, no, they're excited we're
it's
there.
love. It's
Now
love for the most part.
it's a
As
different
long as
culture than it used to
as
be.
long
I'll
as you
say that.
keep it about the sport, it's good. Like
Yeah,
I
it's definitely a different culture than it used to be. I'll say at least 20 years ago. I might go that
yeah,
far. Like
yeah,
I'll
that's
go
fair.
back that far. Like
That's fair. 10,
I ain't gonna
I
say
mean, I could
10 or
probably go
15,
10,
but
15 for real, but
yeah. In
but like
certain states and areas, hell yeah. Even
yeah.
parts of Virginia, when they go to Bristol and stuff,
Yeah,
like
I mean, I was in Darlington, South Carolina last month for a race by myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any problems, but come on now. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a great fucking time, man.
yeah. And another thing about NASCAR, real quick, that's different from other sporting events that I think could help. Maybe not football, but NASCAR events, you can bring your own food and drinks into the event to the venue.
Hmm.
So if you have a cooler full of beer, liquor, whatever, you can bring it inside. Like they allow you to. You don't have to sneak it in. Football, you got to tuck it and tie.
Yeah, they got concessions and stuff, but like they
Yeah, but
encourage also you to bring your own stuff
bring
because
it in. You can also leave out and come back. I've had race. I'll leave out, go to the car, get a drink, something to eat, and walk back in the race. Like you know what I'm saying. So like NASCAR is a good time. I would encourage anybody if you have the opportunity to do it. Do not be intimidated by what your perception is.
Now,
Um,
if you it can get boring because you're just watching a car go in a circle, make a bunch of left turns. It can definitely,
it can get a little monotonous.
yeah. But I like it. It's a great time. I personally like playing the NASCAR video games. I think, oh man, the first time I played that joint, I forgot I was dating somebody at the time, and they were like, "You play NASCAR?" It's like that's
Yeah.
not boring. I'm like, hell no.
Bro,
What?
anytime I tell somebody I'm a NASCAR
I
fan, I'm like,
love I love starting at like somewhere in the high 20s or 30
oh yeah,
ish
I'll
and
start the
working my
back. I'll start
way.
dead last.
I like starting at the back of the pack and like
Yeah,
working my way up at least
yeah.
to get if I can't get in the top 5, at least somewhere in the top 10.
Oh, I'll start dead
Man,
last. And it's to
I'm
the point
cool.
now, like
I
I'm
love it.
so like knee deep in the sport. Like I know how to drive a lot of the tracks and all that. Like from
Hmm.
a video game perspective, I can't hop in a stock car tomorrow and
Nah.
run the Daytona 500 and nothing like
It
that. But
is
like,
still certain tracks that like I have an issue like with, but other than that, like yeah, that shit's
yeah,
fun as a
man,
motherfucker though.
yeah, man. Like I said, I'm still trying to work some stuff out. I actually got to call them. Damn, tomorrow, Friday, Friday.
See, that's how I
Um,
am. Yeah, Jermaine. Like I'm cool with starting at the back of the pack. Like a
yeah,
hundred percent.
I won't even
A hundred
qualify.
percent. Because it's
Let
it's
me
the
start
fun
40th.
of and I sometimes I won't even qualify. I'll skip
No,
the
I don't.
qualify just
I,
so I can start at the back.
I will. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do
I'm
the
not
practice
qualified.
lap so I can get used to whatever track it is, but and make my adjustments. But I'll skip just to start at the back side because I know I'm about to at least move up 20, 25 spots easily.
I'm,
Easily.
I'm
So
I'm the NASCAR guy, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, especially, I would imagine, the majority of the fan base of the show is probably, DC, Maryland, Virginia, Carolina area. You know what I mean? If you get the opportunity to go to, Richmond, Dover, Martinsville, Darlington, Charlotte, like those kind of tracks, what I mean, it's fun. It is a lot of fun. Like I said, like Keith said, it can get a little monotonous and boring, especially if you aren't into NASCAR. But they have a lot of fan activations and other things you can do. Garage access if you can get it, and pit
and
access
also
and
I look at it just like with football. Like sometimes football and baseball, even wrestling, I realize it's going to wrestling events. It's the people sitting around you. Like if
yeah,
you're sitting around the right people, they can make your time lit. I've been to wrestling joints where like either it's the little kids around or just like people in general, they be so hyped. Football be the same. Like if you happen to be in a section or area where like it's not just your team fans, but like some of the other teams fans, it be lit
your
because
your
y'all just
volume
talking
getting low,
shit.
keys. I don't know.
Is it? Am I
I
loud
can
now?
I can hear you, but it's low.
Okay, I'm about to say we wrapping up anyway, but yeah, it's it's definitely a dope time, man. So, um, but we are at the end. This has been episode 39. I want to thank Breeze coming through,
Anytime.
co-hosting for me this with me this week. Jermaine was in the chat. Like I said in the beginning, definitely praise to him and his family. I'm glad they got their power back in Houston. Horrible storm came through, so that's why bro went with us this week. He's trying to, he's at home getting everything situated, making sure the kids and everything's good now. Um, we may or may not be back next week. Bree's phone probably just died. We may or may not be back next week because NCAA football. But we'll probably be on 9 times out of 10, man. But I appreciate each and everybody that came through, everybody in the chat. You already know how we do and what we do over here at Susio Sports. Next week, episode 40. It's a big one, man. That's a big one. So, like Jermaine said, he'll be back. He might be here by himself because I'll probably be playing the game. I ain't gonna lie. I'll probably be playing the game. Yeah. Hey man, tell Drew, make sure he got his shit together. I'm coming for him too. But all right, that was that. See, Breeze actually just told me. Yep. Phone cut off. So all right, episode 39. This has been Susio Sports. This is your man Keys, your girl's favorite podcaster. I'm out.